Hello, I think we're live now. Yes, Rogue's in chat saying, wow, I'm still waiting. You look, that's 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. It is now 3:39. So I'm starting an hour, a minute early. Rogue.
What happened to your barrage of 8 minutes of music or whatever? You just gonna go right in and no.
I've been doing that since I came back to this channel. I've been doing that ever since.
No. Hey, hold up. From what I can see that you've been doing so far for the last 8 episodes, outside of being MIA for your regular Sunday stream for whatever reason, being work or whatnot, you've been playing with Pokemon, Pokeballs, Pocket Monsters.
Yeah, I actually stopped doing the whole music. I only did that for the first two. Yeah, the first 2 episodes. I'm like 8 episodes in, and I haven't done that for the rest of the 6.
Oh, I haven't been paying attention to your entrance.
Wow, right. Maybe you need to pay attention before you criticize people.
I'm still going to criticize. Can't stop me from criticizing.
Yeah. Hello, Lehman. What is up? I think that's someone that followed me over here from. Is that Frog Enough? Yeah. That's somebody following me over here from someone else's stream. Yeah.
Somebody's actually following you from Dragoneth's stream. You know that it might be a furry related type creature.
It wasn't Dragoneth. It's a creator called Frog Enough. You came in late last Saturday. I streamed. No, on one of my Pokemon streams, I got introduced or put into what was called a frog raid, and it was from a streamer on YouTube called Frog Enough. He's got about 5K subs, and when he got done streaming, he likes to find other people either streaming the same game or something like that. And then they'll go over and do what's called a hashtag frog raid. And basically, everyone from over there comes to the stream that he designates. And they pretty much just jump in and say, hey, what's up? And, I ended up getting like 20 plus people over that. Like once, I was like, okay, what the fuck's going on? Well, I have just my 4 people here that were just watching.
I had a stream that was nice and calm, and all of a sudden now we've got a party going on.
Pretty much. And it's like, and everyone in the chat is like, hashtag frog raid, hashtag frog raid. I'm like, am I getting trolled? Am I getting spammed by bots? It's like, what's going on?
You were technically being spammed, but in a good way.
Yes, in a good way. And it was it took a minute for me to realize what was going on. And at first, I was like, frog raid. Is Penny doing something? is her like Twitch stream doing good or something? And all of a sudden, they come over here and raiding me because I didn't know.
I got hair in my mouth. In order for Pen to actually be doing good at streaming, she would have to stream.
Well, she's been streaming. She's been streaming Final Fantasy 14. And she's been sending me links and stuff like that for like the last 2 or 3 weeks to stuff. And it's like, thank you for the link. I don't like Final Fantasy 14, so I'm not watching.
True. I was kind of going to lean towards stream stuff that people would like to watch.
But no, I thought it was something from her, and then I got to looking, and the guy from the channel was like, "Oh no, this is just something I do." And then after I got done my stream, I went over there and looked. It's like, sure enough, they picked me out. It's like, yeah, Sparky's Tech Corner. Go over there. He's got 4 people watching. Let's give him some love. Hopefully, he doesn't think this is a spam or attack of some sorts. So, I mean, they go over there knowing that people might, not understand.
Yeah.
But no, that was cool. And I've jumped into their chat a couple times when he's been streaming, and he's got some strict rules. He doesn't like you going in there self promoting. That's completely understandable. He doesn't self promote either on other people's stuff. It's like whatever. It's like, well, for the simple fact that you got 5K subs, you're this generous and stuff like that. You know what? Fuck you. Fuck off. I'm gonna show you on my channel, so I don't care.
Yeah. Well, but I get it. There are certain rules for certain people, but
yeah, that's all good. It's all good. I'm completely fine with that. But yes, I did not stream last Sunday because I was in the middle of trying to get some stuff done. A lot of shit happened last weekend, and yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
All right.
Well, I will talk about it, but it's like, so.
Wait a minute. Hold up. I don't want to talk about. Okay, no. I think I'm going to talk about it as he.
I'm being dramatic, Rogue. I am being dramatic, Rogue.
No. If you're going to be any form of complete trollage, at least do a Medicare level of trollage. I mean, fuck me.
So okay. You want me to troll on an epic level? Okay, here we go.
Thank you.
There we go.
Better. Thank you. Fuck me.
But no,
you should know that most people like drama. They just don't like the subtle thing. They want that Jerry Springer moment.
I'm sorry, I'm not that kind of channel.
We'll get you there one day. We'll get you there.
Oh god, I've already been involved in channels like that. I don't want any more. Fuck that.
No. You'll be Jerry Springer. You'll be able to handle the complete trash fire.
Oh god.
We'll make stuff. We'll make
not
some
the
shit
trash fires. Anything but the trash fires.
Well, we'll just make some stuff up, even if we have to find people from the trailer parks in order to help you with that. Those lies.
Yeah, and I'm getting ready to do something right now. I don't know if it's gonna fuck the stream up, but I forgot I needed to upload a video for today because I went from doing 5 episodes a week on SDC Watch Club to 7 videos a week on SDC Watch Club.
Wow, you're good. You're good.
No, I'm ended up doing 2 back-to-back series. So these are shows that are currently airing right now. And the videos are coming out a day behind the original release. Okay. And as I never got a chance to get a hold of you yet to talk about it because I've been busy. But go to SDC Watch Club and look up the first episode of Love After World Domination. I have no idea how it fucking happened, but I've got 748 views on that one video.
I can.
It's the only one.
Interesting. It could be the anime itself.
I mean, it could be, but it's like
I know there's possibly a lot more. I would have to check behind the scenes and get back to you on that, but I really think it could be the actual anime in question.
Yeah, I think it was a fluke because I put episode 2 out and I used the exact same tags and it's got like 7 views.
Yeah, no, I really think it was.
It was at the time. It was the show just dropped, so it was one. I think it was just a total fucking fluke.
Yeah, no. Yeah, because if that's the case, when you look at the second one and you kind of compare it to the others that you probably put down, you have to look at.
It was up to no. Whenever I loaded that first one, it was up to like 80 views within the first hour.
Yeah, I really think it's based off of people believing that somebody might have dropped an English dub or at least something available outside of going to Crunchyrolls and shit like that.
Yeah, I don't want to fool people, but it's like
no, but that unfortunately unfortunately for the plebs out there, even though they're trying to find a way to get around the streaming services, the barrage of streaming services, or certain companies that they're not happy with, they're going to find an alternative. They just believe that was an alternative. Sucks for them, but
thank you for the views.
It isn't, but hey, look, you got a 700 view count for that one show. Congrats.
Yeah, I'm saying it just going is like ikitakamas.
Pretty much.
But no, it was so freaking weird. I mean, I liked it, and oh god, Tyro absolutely flipped his fucking shit.
Yeah, and that's the one thing Tyro's gotta be very careful with is You
No, it's
want to
because
wait
I
until
did.
you
I
get
did.
about 3 episodes in before you start freaking out with the
Oh no
amount
no no no
of.
no 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 no! It's because I did that one solo.
Oh, okay.
It's the only video on my channel that's broke above triple digits, and
Oh,
it's a solo
because
video.
he wasn't in it. You know what? That just tells me something big time.
No one was in it but me, and I had every intentions of not doing that. Me and him were gonna do Spy Family as the back to back
Yeah.
to kind of see how it was going to do with running alongside a show.
Yeah.
If it was gonna do good, if it was gonna do bad. I mean, just trying to figure out what's the catch with what's YouTube happy with, what's YouTube wanting to promote now, what's the search results for this one.
Yeah.
And we were gonna do that with Spy Family. Well, I got bored on Saturday night, and this was like at 2 a.m., 1 a.m., 2 a.m. Friday night, Saturday morning, because I aired it on Saturday.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell? It's like, this show came out. I was kind of hyped for it. It's a Super Sentai. It's a rom-com. It's like if Jason fell in love with Rita Repulsa on Power Rangers. I was hyped to see what I was gonna do. So I hit the record button and I did a solo run of it. And at the end of it, I was shitting all over it.
There you go.
I was shitting all over it for many of different things. The first off, it's like, okay, you have a villainess that has a secret identity. Okay, we pretty much established that the Gelato team had no secret identities. They are known publicly by the actual names and the superhero names. Okay, it's a Voltron thing. It's not a Super Sentai thing. It's a Voltron thing. Okay, got it. But the villains have anonymous IDs. No one knows who they are. Okay, that's a fact. Why is a muscle-bound lunkhead that does nothing but bodybuild and has nothing on the brains but, walking out, can't even fucking use a computer? How in the fuck can he find the social media profile of this girl and no one else on the entire team, even the professor that warned everyone about this girl called Reaper Princess, can't figure out her fucking identity, but he does.
Wow, that's really good for the okay.
Yeah, that's my point. And then all of a sudden, it's like a love at first sight, and then right down the spot, they start dating, and it's like,
Oh jeez.
no,
Plots. Gotta love
No.
the has to have this plot.
no.
Oh.
Yeah, so I was very critical. I was hyping it up at the beginning of it, and at the end of it, I was fucking shitting all over it. Now, okay, I thought about it, and I came back, it's like, alright, fine. I'll give it one episode, pass. Watch the second episode. The second episode kind of redeems itself. So, it's like, okay, I'm still not happy with your show, but it's like, you caught me back on the second one, and really, honestly, they should have started with the second episode.
But that's the unfortunate thing about certain animations or certain shows. They should really focus on, like for example, the Moon Knight. Their storytelling is kind of all over the place, and they should really tighten it down, and really focus on introducing not the one of the identities who's going to find out that they're secretly a secret agent and a superhero in disguise who has have multiple different personalities. Let's introduce the actual Moon Knight character per se, have that somewhat established in the universe, and then add in the other characters.
Yeah. Well, it's the whole fact of, okay, the whole plot behind this, it's a comedy because the leader of a Super Sentai group, the Gelato team.
Oh, great! I always like ice cream.
Yeah, no, it's I'm sitting here going, and it's like, oh, they gotta have Megazords, and it's like, yeah, I could just see a Strawberry Sundae Megazord. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. So it's like, So okay, so make it, giant robots are out of it. Okay, got it. So went from that aspect to it's a rom-com. It's comedy and it's about romance and it's about two dorks that fall in love and they are
Yeah.
literally fucking dorks, and not in a bad sense. But I'm sitting here going, it's like the introduction to the whole thing is like within the whole week span. It's like it's just
like Gold. This would be almost like Goldar falling in love with Kimberly, the Pink Ranger, or
yes,
Trini, Yellow
pretty
Ranger.
pretty much. I mean, pretty much. That's exactly kind of what this is, and it's not a bad. I don't hate the concept. It's not the concept. It's how it establishes the concept. It's like, okay, no. It's like how in the fuck does he find her on social media? How does no one else on the team know who this is? Nobody knows who the identity of the Reaper Princess is. They want to know so they can stop her. He's the only one that finds out, and now he's keeping it secret. And now they're kind of battling with each other, mock battles, just so they can get together and hang out and spend time with each other. It's like, you know what? I'm fine with that concept, but I just hate the way it was set up. It's like, here's a good concept. Here's a stupendous concept. Have it to where they're dating already. And they don't know, that they are on the opposite teams. And they fight each other all the time. Have a concept like that. That would be better.
That would be interesting. That'd be interesting because her
That's
coming up with bruised arms or whatever, and him doing the same kind of sore back or whatever, that kind of stuff. That would actually make that would actually add to kind of the ongoing joke, because he would either
yes, that would be better.
About, yeah,
that would be better. Not getting together, knowing that they're on the opposite teams and knowing who they are, and then continuing that whole spiel. Because I mean, they knew who they are. They know who each other are. They're not swapping sides. They're not changing teams. They're not diverting from anything from the team. He's still the leader of the Gelato team. She is still the lead baddie of Team Gecko.
wow.
And things just continue on as they are. But when they get together on the battlefield, they put on a big spectacle, go off somewhere, have a showdown battle, and basically have a picnic.
Jeez. Okay.
That is literally how the first episode opened up. No, Rogue, I'm telling you, you need to watch the first episode.
I will. I've been delaying certain things because I've been having fun not worrying about the Okay, I'll have to watch this episod.
Yeah, you just at least the first episode, and just tell me if you see the way things are. Now, the second
from what I already got from you so far, I probably will agree. Because again, I have issues with modern day television shows and their take, like Halo. Me not being a huge Halo fan, know nothing about the major franchise.
Oh, they fucked the story
as
up.
it is.
Pure plain and simple. They fucked it up.
I know they fucked it up, but and me going into it for the first episode completely blind, kind of going, okay, this is a new sci-fi based show, and then even I, a plebeian, kind of went, what the fuck is this? This makes no sense. Who is Master Chief? Why is this a thing? I need to know about these aliens. What the fuck is going on? No one's explaining anything to me. How did Master Chief want to hang up with this Asian chick? What's about with this Asian chick that she wants to hang? I'm like, okay, could you give me enough time to breathe, to dissect, to find out exactly what these characters are about?
And
I'm supposed to go in to assume that I know everything.
Well, and that's the problem. And this is where the development team, the directing team, or the story writing team of this that slop show called Halo. It's like, well, we're not following the continuity of the stories. This is something of its own. It doesn't follow the stories, and it's everything on itself. It's like, okay, that's fine then. That's fine if you want to do that. But why are you presenting the show as a way of you got to know the games in order to watch the show? That doesn't make sense.
Well, I know that because that was the first thing I thought to myself, is going, do I need to know the source material in order to watch this show? Because I can watch The Witcher, a Netflix show, and I can follow it. I've read the books, yes, but even that, and I don't remember all of the entire story from it because I read the books a long time ago. So I'm going. It's a show. It's boring from the source material, and I've watched it, and I've also talked to other people who've watched it who've never read the books or have ever played the video game, and I kind of go, "How do you think about the story? What are your thought process going forward?" They like it. There's a few things that are kind of confusing for them. Like, well, way to help resolve some of the confusing bits. There is a book if you want to, it's been out there for a while. It's got several different chapters, so if you want to read the book, and
Yeah,
so some of them.
there's two different ways you can do an adaptation. You can do what's called a true adaptation, and a true adaptation is you basically make it on the premise that you know you're going to a franchise, knowing that the people who are gonna watch this are going to know the franchise, which has its caveats and has its pitfalls. Its caveats is you don't have to explain itself that much because the fans will know it. The pitfalls is for anyone who doesn't know anything about that series are gonna be kind of left in the dark. So you kind of want to do some storytelling and world building. Literally, because I did end up watching the first episode. Because I want to see how bad it was. Oh my god!
No, I
bad.
understand. I mean,
oh my god!
Again,
that was a glorious train wreck with nothing but nuclear fucking waste on every fucking car, and every car tipped over and tumbled down the fucking tracks for about a mile. That was a glorious fucking train wreck.
It was a worst version of Fallout ever presented on any form of screen. But
yes.
no, if you're going to present a huge world like a Halo universe or like a Battlestar Galactica or whatever, you have to set the playing field. You have to make sure that everybody's on the same level starting. Whether they know the franchise or not. From there, you slowly build. And then those who know the franchise will have different expectations going forward. And those who don't know are going to be happy to go along with the ride and speculate.
Here's a good example of that being done correctly. Arcane.
Yeah.
That is a good example of world building. But building the world up into a way you don't need to know the source material.
Correct. I know nothing. Okay, I know that League of Legends exists. I've seen people, talk about it, or I've seen it kind of play out. And it's like a game that I don't know about the characters. All I know is like you play with these 3 different hero base. There's multiple different heroes. You go different lanes, and you battle these little minions and so on and so forth. And you're trying to take over the other side. Got that. Figured that portion out. Okay, no problem. But apparently there's a lore that comes with it. I know nothing about the lore. So when I watched Arcane for the first time, the very first opening, it's a battle scene, and there's bodies all over the place, and these 2 girls are coming through, and it's like going, okay, this is interesting. And then you meet up with a dude who you think might be a parent or not, whatnot, or whoever, and it builds a story. Yes, there's a time jump. Few years later, but again, you are growing with these 2 characters. So by the time you get to the massive separation of the girls, where you end up with Vi going in one direction and her sister going in a completely different direction, you kind of go, okay, this is good. This is an interesting story. I want to know more.
Yeah. And then, if you are a plebeian that have not played League of Legends, you wouldn't know who these characters are.
No.
Even if you did play League of Legends, I haven't played League of Legends a lot, and it's been a long time since I played them. But I did know a majority of the characters. I was dumbfounded whenever I found out Powder was Jinx. Yeah. And it's like, okay, this is a backstory time. This is an origin story. Got it. Okay, no, this is neat because, and that's another thing within like canon aspects and telling a story that's different from what the game perspective is. It's telling an origin story because Nothing is known about Vi except for she grew up in the slums and then became an enforcer later on because of the way of life she lived, and she wanted to change from that because of things
Yep.
and aspects from her life. And then we find out about Jinx. Jinx is a character that was in and corrupted by the dark side of the underground world. But besides from that, there was nothing known about her. And the way they treated them in the games, like they were oppositions, they were enemies. They there was no inclination of the fact that they knew each other. And the way they told that story at the end of it makes sense. Vi wouldn't want anything to do with Powder after that whole event in there because she completely flipped. She went fucking batshit crazy. She is some Powder is dead. There is nothing left but Jinx. So that makes complete sense now. And you did not need to play the game to understand this. They did a good job at storytelling.
Well, they explain Oppenheimer, the little monster scientist. Because again, his species is like a Yoda species. They live for a very long period of time. They gave you a separation of the classes system. There's the upper class and the lower class system that exists. They gave you that there's more to the world than those two areas that exist. Even the slums area, the lower class. They built out the world where you're following Little Man and his growth to become his own version of a hero. You have where the old heroes are now pretty much put to the wayside. They're gone. They killed the past, but they haven't forgotten it. And it's just more problems that are added up because from Jinx being manipulated by the seedy side of the slums, she's become her own villain. She's become her own version of what she sees as a hero. So I like the idea. It is. I'm waiting to see the second season if they can continue with it.
I'm completely hyped for a second season. Or even just a different storytelling view or perspective. I mean, it doesn't even have to follow up. I mean, it would be nice if they followed up with what happened afterwards, like the bombing of the council and stuff like that. It'll be nice if they followed up with that. But even if they don't and they go to like an opposite spectrum, because there's many different fucking characters they can pick from to choose to do a story path on. I mean, the potential for many stories is limitless of what they can do. But I'm just hyped to see
what is it? Is there like somewhere close to like 150 champions or so?
I don't exactly know. I know there's
regardless,
metric shit ton.
Again, as you pointed out, there is a lot of champions for League, and we only just got into the beginning aspect. We were introduced to maybe I think 20 of them.
Yeah, not even 20 of them. I mean, a very small handful. I mean, I want to say at most prominent ones, maybe 10.
Yeah.
But that's how you tell a story. And for something like Halo, oh man, yeah, you don't go tell your fan base, well, if you don't like it, this is an alternate universe, and this is not meant to be the same story as the games. Well, if that's the case, why are you telling it on the aspect of you need to play the fucking games to even understand a fraction of what's going on? And even then, you gotta get the people who play the games and know the story call you out on your bullshit because it's wrong.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck, Cowboy Bebop did better.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, I did.
Why do I have to say it? Cowboy Bebop did better. At least they kept onto the same consistent path and did minute changes to characters. And I would call it minute. Yes, I mean, it's complete. Yeah. I mean, they flipped some characters on the heads, but for the main cast of characters, minute changes. Yes, they less sexified Vi. They changed Jet's race.
Yeah, the jet lag.
They
They gave your
gave
daughter.
Spike.
You have more on Spike, and focusing on it, on him just recovering from being part of the syndicate and that
But
kind of
even
drama that
then,
comes
those
with.
aspects are still way more believable. I can say, okay, I can say that this is an alternate version of the show, but it still touches on certain things. They don't
Yeah,
do a lot of personality changes. I mean, Jet's personality is still the same as it's Jet. Same on mine. Yeah, she's a little bit less flamboyant, but it's still Mai. She's still out to money and shit like that. You
yeah,
got
and
you
Spike
got
is still kind of
nonchalant, quiet person that knows a type of kung fu I can't remember.
Giocondo.
Jikondo.
Yeah.
But it's in. I mean, the character bases are still there. They did not change the way the characters. Except for Ed, they just fucked Ed up.
Oh, I know,
But
but
luckily, that was the last episode. Luckily, that was the episode that nailed it.
Yeah. But yeah, again, trying to get those characters in an anime world to fit in what's considered a real world is going to be kind of a challenge. I give them that. They did try, yet they did create a new world, so they were focusing on trying to world build for their stories. I like that.
Yeah,
As we pointed out previously, the characters didn't fit with that world because it wasn't proper cohesion. And unlike when you go to the anime version of it, there's a cohesence there because of jazz, the music selection. It was meant to be each character is a different instrument, and collectively they make a really interesting piece. But separately, they have to, figure out how to work within their world.
yeah. But when you get to the character of like Master Chief, it's like Master Chief is not a hard character to fuck up. He is really not a hard character to fuck up. He
Well,
is to the
apparently
point.
did.
Yeah, no, they shit the bed on it. But it's like his character is supposed to be. He is the standing brute, and he is the silent standing brute. He is very soft spoken. He only speaks up when he needs to, and when he does, he gets the point across in 5 or less words.
Yeah.
He does not get angry. He does not get he doesn't show tone that he is upset. He does not show tone he is angry. He does not show tone he is happy. His tone is consistent throughout. I mean, all the games, even when something bad happens or something good happens, it's constantly the same. You see his emotion with his actions or what he does next, and that's how they portray Chief. And he's by the book, he's to the book, and he will do everything. He will do anything that it takes to complete the mission and his orders. His mission and his orders are that. And if it means he does have to break the book or break the rules to complete those orders, he will do that.
Well, here's the beautiful thing. Okay, you're taking a character that the player can actually fit themselves into, which is the silent protagonist. They may have some vocal cues every now and then, but for the most part, they're supposed to be silent so that the player could assume that role. And have a different mindset of especially what choices that they're going to make. Is it going to be made based off of what the actual character is supposed to be, or is it their personality making those choices? Which is kind of a very unique psychological approach when you look at gaming. But when you have a character that's vocal and you're just using your thumbsticks to direct them, now you just you pretty much fucked everything up because now the player is not interested in the character. Trying
Yeah.
to interpretate that idea, that system into the movie market or even television market shouldn't be that difficult to do. You just have to have people who know how to structure certain characters. Like for example, Star Wars, Mandalorian. Very, very docile tones. Very, very easy to follow. Silent protagonist for the most part. Says what he needs
And
to say during the cues.
yeah,
You feel that this is almost like a game brought to the world.
and I will say this much for the Mandalorian and for the Book of Boba Fett. I know the shows get a lot of hate, and they do, but at least they portray the characters correctly. For the most part, they do.
Yes.
So I cannot criticize Disney for doing that. I mean, I enjoyed it. From what I see in Mandalorian and from what I'm seeing in Book of Boba Fett, and I've not watched them all. I've seen clips and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But from what I've seen, it's like it's believable. I can believe Boba Fett would do this. I can believe the Mandalorian, based on his heritage and what his heritage is. I can believe the Mandalorian would do this.
Correct.
There are some things in there that's kind of questionable, but it's like it's whatever. And I do like I like the fact that they're bringing the Syndicate in. They brought the Syndicate in on the Book of Boba Fett. I'm glad they brought up the spice trading and stuff like that, because that's something that's been brought up in all the all the movies. Yeah, because it was brought up in episode it's brought up in episode 1. Whenever the what was it wasn't episode 1, it was episode 2. I'm sorry. It was brought up in episode 2 whenever
well, no, it was alluded to in episode 1, but it was actually brought up a bit further in episode 2.
Yeah, that's I think it was disgruntled spice miners or spice traders that did the assassination tip on Amidala. So I mean, and yeah, spice trading, it was brought up briefly in places, and along with like slave trading and stuff like that in episode 1. But it was also brought up in New Hope. How's it brought up in New Hope? That's what Han did. He had those cargo bay doors. Like, yes, this is why I used to smuggle goods. What goods he did? He worked for Jabba the Hutt. He smuggled spice.
Yes,
that's what he did. And if you go back and watch, as much as people hate the movie Solo, it brings up what the Kessel One was. He was smuggling high grade, unrefined fuel for hyperdrives.
Yeah.
And we see how we literally get to see how the fucking Millennium Falcon gets so fucking beat up. And it's because of the Kessel Run.
Yes. And it's because of these little nuances that are there that help define or get away from the illusion, the allure of certain characters. Like, for example, George Lucas was trying to keep Han Solo as a lovable rogue, even though when he first put him out there, I think it was because of his wife, his first wife. He's a scoundrel for the most part. He shot first.
Yeah.
Shoot first, ask questions later. That is him in a nutshell. Yes,
and at least rectify that in Solo. They do rectify that in Solo fully.
Yeah, I know.
Because that's how he was taught from a mentor, and he really did look at that one guy, the guy that Woody.
Woody Harrelson's character.
Yeah, he did look at him as a mentor.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as much as people want to hate the movies, like I said, Rogue One, Solo, Book of Boba Fett, the Mandalorian, I absolutely do like those films. Now, I can't stand the new trilogy. I cannot stand the new trilogy. That's the line I can't cross.
The new trilogy, and again, I'm not trying to say it's the best thing ever. It has potential. Problem with it is it fucked up the story from its very first episode. Because again, it focused on the wrong character. For whatever reason, I don't know who made the decision. I really think it was Kathleen Kennedy at the end of it, but It should have been a story of Finn and his coming to the realization that he is a Jedi, but he's got to go through the detraining of being a stormtrooper. This was going to be a really good story of a trooper going from a non-phase cannon fodder to being a hero and bringing out the best of that other side.
Well, hell, even then, you already had stories like that you could have touched upon, like oh fuck, I can't remember his actual name in Rebels, but
Oh,
the Imperial general, I think, yeah, he was a general that defected to the Falcon.
yeah,
He's the one that defected to the other side, and a lot of people don't know. It's like, well, he's just kind of a person that he's never seen again. Ron, we do see him. We do see him two other times in A New Hope and
yeah.
Return of the Jedi.
I always like the characters that, or the story that's not been told. We've got so many different hero stories, and it's always coming from a farm boy or a woman in distress or whatever, and they move themselves up. I've seen that story multiple different times to a point where it gets kind of boring.
How about the
Having
Factor?
yeah, it's
Enter
general.
Max. Yeah, but it's like have a defect.
Yeah,
A defector story will be cool. I think it'd be
it would be
cool.
different.
But it just goes to show that there's a lot of different ways you can tell stories, and there's a lot of ways you can fuck them up.
Yeah.
So, ugh. But no, yeah, I implore you, please go watch the first episode of Love After
No,
World
I
Domination.
will
Let it melt your brain, because
Don't
I
worry,
guarantee you'll have about 7 different questions going: how, when, why, who, where. It's like what?
trust me, I already have enough shows that have melted my brain, and I kind of go, you know what's an extra melting? It's already corrupted as it is.
The hard drive's corrupted. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, but no, it's been fun doing that. The second episode of Love After World Domination, like I said, redeemed itself, and Tyro wanted to join in on that one, and it's like, I don't mind, but it's like I was doing that one solo for the fact that I could do it at like 2 or 3 a.m. at my own leisure or whenever, and be done with
Yes,
it.
I would still, I would probably kind of go, yes, I know you want to help do it, but I propose it the same way that you can do it at your own leisure. You don't have to worry about trying to get everybody. You're not trying to wrangle the cats in order to get the show to run. So
Yeah.
then,
But
but
it's whatever. I mean,
it is what it is.
it wasn't even scheduled for the docket. It was not even. It was a last minute deal. It's like, okay, I know I'm doing Spy Family with Tyro on Sunday.
Yeah.
That's gonna be our week to week. I want another metric. I wanted another metric, and it's like, what am I gonna do? It's like, oh, Love After World Domination. I wanted to see this one. I'll hit the record button and see what happens. And
Yeah,
like I
no,
said, it's the most watched fucking video right now on the channel. I'm surprised.
It doesn't have a comment. It's going to get a
No,
comment.
it does not have a comment. It's yeah, I know. It was a fluke. I know that. Still, it does help.
I know. Let's see here.
And I looked at the likes and dislikes right now, and I'm gonna say a lot of people who like the show kind of disliked my my commenting on it. And it's like,
It's
I don't
fine.
care.
It is the unfortunate thing about it. There's always going to be somebody who doesn't like to listen to. Look, Tyro is a good example. I what was that stupid thing? Not redo of healer. Was it redo of healer? The stupid revenge anime that he
It was
fondled
redo
over.
healer. It was ridiculous.
and it has a shitty story, it has a shitty premise, and realistically, the kid deserved everything that he got in the beginning because all he's doing is repeating the same vicious cycle to eventually end up having the same shitty outtake.
Well, so here's the thing. I'll disagree on one portion of that premise. At the beginning, I don't think he deserved anything that happened to him. But his actions that he went forward on in trying to rectify that by getting revenge and not change outcomes of what happened, then he deserves everything that he had coming to him, if that was the case. And it's like, I mean, if he tried to sway the course and not just, oh, well, you continued. And I don't get it, because I had a lot of people. I actually literally had a lot of people come at me for this, and it's like, well, he tested the princess, and the princess still threw him up in chains, and still captured him, and still tortured him because of the fact that he could not use his magic, and he collapsed right then and there. And it's like, here's the thing, though. The first go around, yes, he did pass out, but he was not aware of what happened. The second time, he knew the outcome of what happened, and he listened in. There was plenty of things he could have done differently, especially whenever he passed out. He was able to smirk. He was able to smile. He was able to open his eyes, and it was an act.
Yep.
He could have got up. He could
himself through that endless torture the second time around. He enjoyed.
He did not do anything to change it. What he did was, I want to see if insanity is a thing. And yes, insanity is a thing. Yes, the exact same things are going to happen if you don't do anything to rectify what happened.
Well, that is the level of insanity to do the same thing over again.
So at that point, he deserves the burn in hell.
Well, I will give you some of that if it wasn't for the factor that I've seen the entire story, and I kind of go, this kid was broken to begin with. He just got further corrupted. And with an opportunity to relive his entire life as a completely different thing, including as a slime, if he so wanted to, he opted to become the aggressor, to be abused to a point where he manipulated the situation and became the aggressor of the entire situation to a point where now everybody wants him dead for the most part, except for his harem that he has. And even that's questionable.
Well, that's going to be questionable because I think the sister of Princess Flare regains her memories later on, and then will plays along still.
Yeah, no.
And I went a little bit ahead to check it out to see what kind of fucking trash fire. Yeah, it's a major trash fire. But it does.
We'll put it this way: the manga doesn't make it better. The light novels does not improve it along the way. They're going with the source material. It is just I can't even go over the fact of, oh well, his mind was broken. Actually, no, it wasn't. His mind wasn't broken that time around. No.
He remembered nothing of it, except for when he got that special eye. And then he remembers stuff that happened. And even then, I can kind of relate that as kind of a fever dream.
Yeah.
He could remember stuff that happened, but it never actually happened to him. So even at that point, it's like he even said it's not as crystal clear to him now as it was back then, but he remembers the stuff that happened. He knows the events of what's gonna go on and go down.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, the Kyoru of then took over the Kyoru of his body now.
I'll see you guys later. I gotta finish mowing the lawn.
All right, you have fun.
Oh yeah, loads.
Yeah, but anyways, it's like the Kyoru back then didn't take over the Kyoru of now. The Kyoru of now got the memories of the Kyoru back then. So it's like you cannot tell me it's the same person. It's not.
My greatest question going forward: why did Jim X come in if he still got a mole on? I mean, that was weird.
I think he just didn't want to talk about Redo or Prelude.
I'm sorry. It was a conversation that came up, and whether he likes it or not, it just led that way.
And it is what it is. We ain't got to stay on topic, but it is what it is. But
No,
wait a second. What? I don't get what Ziogo is trying to say. Why does Sparky look like a regular Nick Fuentes fan? When the fuck's Nick Fuentes?
I would have to look that up because I haven't been paying attention. I feel like that's a YouTube personality in some case.
I don't even know who the fucking Nick Fuentes is.
Oh, he's from the far right. He's a white nationalist. Right.
Oh, it's that. Oh no, I know who that is. No, it's him and Ethan Klein tried to fucking do a gotcha moment on Crowded. No, go fuck yourself, Zeo Gold.
Gem X's whip, so jealous. Nick, I'm just gonna call him Furry. Nick Furries is an alt-right Zoomer.
He's at all left
Furries
Zoomer.
Isn't white. Well, you know what? I really don't fucking care. I don't pay attention to any of the alt left. Bad enough I pay attention to what I'm gonna call the alt left. It's just stupid, and apparently he's 23. So he's a 23-year-old moron that hasn't figured shit out yet. I don't fucking care.
Yeah, same here. Is how would you base that upon my fucking looks, anyways?
If anything, I'd probably say you're almost on par with Mark Dice. The only thing you have to do is go out there and try to get people to write a petition or sign a petition. That's about it. No,
I ain't gotta put that much fucking effort in that.
I know. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
Some people's fucking idea of reality, fuck.
No, I know. I've I don't know. Like I said, trying to pay attention to all these personalities. I just kind of no. Too many personalities coming into this playing field of the sandbox is stupid. And I already have enough to pay attention to the old group of sandbox is stupid. So. Like Sargon of the Cod or Carl Benjamin, he's still doing his gotcha moments. He hasn't changed. Easton Ralph is still, rage pigging as normal.
Little rage piggy.
Yes.
Bring home the bacon. Even though it's gotta be completely fat and greased.
Of course it is. I mean, one thing I'm going to have to give good old Takasa is he kept himself out of the limelight for a bit. Great. He hasn't taken a complete head dive into the barrel of stupid, which is good. Keep it up.
He's been very tame.
Well, again, like I said, I'm giving him credits. I'm giving him kudos. I'm just saying, keep it up. Stay away from.
I will say this much: you go out sideways, he'll come back at you. That's just how he is.
Again, I understand that. I understand that makes sense. But I'm giving him some kudos here.
That reminds me of a funny story last night. But yeah, okay. I'll tell you in a minute.
Yeah, no, I was going to continue. It's the same thing like on Monday Matt. Still somewhat of a fuck up, but not of a greater fuck up as he was many years ago.
No, when you could take an L and turn around on the person that was driving that whole fucking escapade towards you.
Yeah.
I mean,
beat them at their own game. Fuck yeah.
Bravo.
Yeah.
Bravo.
I mean. This is good. This is this is called the turnaround of these particular media hypes that had a bit of clout behind them. They've gotten better. Keep it up. Don't fuck it up, because if you fuck it up, you're gonna have to rebuild again, and that's gonna take a longer time to rebuild.
Now, well, even then, it's like who really cares?
Mm.
The worst thing that's gonna happen is people gonna sit down, laugh at you, and call you stupid.
True.
But
That is
no,
so true.
after last night, when I
Mhm.
got done recording with Tyro, I had to go walk on a friend's truck.
Yeah.
Well, it was a simple issue. I mean, it was a 5-cent fuse. That was the entire issue. So, hey, I got that done. So after I got done, hey, what I did? I went to go out drinking at my favorite bar. Always fun.
Okay.
Well, alright. So I'm not gonna mince words when I say this. This guy's name is George. And that is his actual name. I'm not gonna tell you his last name because one, I don't know his last name, and two, I don't really care to know his last name. But you know what? If you want to figure out who this guy is, good luck, because how many Georges are out there?
Okay. There's quite a few. I'm not even going.
And he has no fucking social media presence. He is a short cowboy redneck.
Okay.
He is a chihuahua. That's the best way I can put it.
All right.
Anyways, I've known him for a time. I don't hang around him. I don't drink around him because one, he's an idiot.
Okay.
Two, he's a loudmouth idiot. And three, he's one of those people who thinks he's big and bad. And if he doesn't like something, you want to fight, I'll beat your ass, I'll beat you. He's a chihuahua.
Mhm.
Anyways, back a couple months ago, I had a friend that was dealing with some bullshit, and she was one to walk us at the bar, and he was outside drinking. I was outside drinking. I was hanging out with them. She was having some issues with her girlfriend. Her girlfriend wanted to go home with a couple people that nobody knew. She didn't know, and frankly, they didn't even know her. And it's like, yeah, well, we'll take her with us because she wanted to go. What we gotta do, we have no idea. But if things go one way or another way, it is what it is. It's like, yeah, you're not doing this. Anyways, she absolutely refused to go with her girlfriend, and at the end of the day, we ended up calling one of her friends, and they drove all the way 45 minutes, an hour down just to pick her up. So we made sure she was safe. Well, during the entire time, this mouthy little fuck was outside, just not even making the fucking situation good. And at one point in time, I told him, it's like, you need to shut the fuck up, because you're not helping, just get back and get away. And then him and one of his friends try to come at me, and it's like, either you're gonna go, or I'm gonna call the cops. And his friend ended up grabbing him, they went away, and it's like, good. Anyways, fast forward to now.
Yeah.
I've not interacted with him. I have not said anything to him, and I've kept to myself the entire time. Y'all, I know people he knows. He knows people that I know. I'll drink with them, but I don't interact with him. Well, at one point, it's like, can't remember what it was, but it's like two girls ended up making out in the bar. And I was sitting there, I was like, okay. Sitting there watching, and somebody came up, put the arm around my shoulder. It's like, damn, that's a view. And it's like, I guess it's a view. And I just kept drinking my beer, and he kept talking, and it's like answering back to him. All of a sudden, George comes up beside him, and unprovocated, not even. I mean, just unprovocated. He comes up and says, hey, you know the guy you're standing next to is a fucking douchebag, right?
Wow. That's a big leap.
It is. Like, I've not talked to him one fucking point this entire night. It's like, and I just turn around and goes like, at least I'm not a mouthy little shit.
Yeah.
And I go back to talking to him. And he just stopped and he looked at me. And it's like, and I looked back at him, I was like, don't even give me that fucking look. You're the one that started it, so just don't even start.
Yeah.
It's like, you want to go? And it's like, George, I'm not gonna go with you because you're not worth my fucking time. And it's like, well, I'm not gonna sit here and get mouthed by you. And it's like, you came up calling me a douchebag. And it's like, yeah, well, do you want to go up, bust your mouth right now? I just sitting there and look. It's like, look, are you gonna continue to provocate that you're a little mouthy little shit? because you're sitting here saying that you gotta go at me. Fuck, just throw the fucking punch. Don't sit here and talk about it. Throw the fucking punch. Don't sit here and fucking announce what you gotta fucking do. You're just proving my point. You're a merry little shit. Yeah, he got super fucking butthurt. And like 4 or 5, he went to go come at me. And about 5 people grabbed a hold of him. It's like, he ain't worth it. He ain't worth it. And it's like, I ain't worth it. He's the one that's not worth it. If he can't fucking take it, don't fucking dish it out.
No, that is the truth.
And then they ended up leaving, and I guess they ended up, arguing in the parking lot, and then they fucking left. And the owner looked at me and was like, look, hey, I called it out as it was, and she just looked at me and laughed, and was like, it's all good.
Yeah.
It's like, look, you don't like me? That's fine. You want to talk shit behind my back? That's fine. You gotta come up and earshot me, call me a douchebag? I'm sorry, you're a merry little shit. I think that response was very tame. And it got underneath his skin so fucking bad that it prompted that fucking reaction. It's like, dude, man, grow the fuck up.
Yeah, unfortunately, people are people. Men are men. Sometimes they're dumb, sometimes they're smart. There's more times that they're dumb than they're smart.
And I do have a Snapchat. I don't share it around, but I do have a Snapchat. And a lot of his friends are friends with me. And there's a little function that you can do, and you can put stories on a Snapchat map. So anyone who's not even your friend can look at it at that particular point and see what happened or what was going on, what was posted. And I did a snap map.
Okay.
And I'll fucking what this new phone, because I ended up buying a new phone. I'll talk about that in a minute. But this is what I ended up saying.
I guess I'll just put it to you like this. I guess it's to a guy named George who drinks at the body shop. He's a short little cowboy. He drinks on there, thinks he's a big bad man, and he's not. Look, if you're gonna lose your shit because somebody called you a merry little shit because you called them a douchebag, maybe you shouldn't mount people. So, that being said, yeah, you're not worth the time, you're not worth the fucking energy. If you gotta lose your shit because somebody called you a merry little shit because, you want to call them a douchebag, that's your fault. That's your problem. That's not mine. If you can lose your absolute shit because somebody said words to you and you want to prove you're a big man, you're not a big man. You're a really fucking little small man. So, George, take some advice, chill out, and learn not to let words fucking affect you because that doesn't prove you're big. That proves you're tiny and insignificant. Have a good night.
Yeah, that's pretty decent. Pretty decent.
Yeah, and I posted that for a reason because I wanted him to see it. And I want him to see it, and I want him to get fucking embarrassed about it. Because it's true. And if he has an issue about it, it's like I told him, fucking swing.
Yeah.
Don't come up in my face. Don't try to fucking mentor words to me. If you don't like me, fucking swing. I know for a fact he doesn't want to, because he doesn't want to get kicked out of the place.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you do that, you pretty much lose ties to the bar for about a year, maybe longer, depending on the situation. So, realistically.
Yeah, and I've already talked to the owner about it. Yeah, and I talked to the owner about it that night, and it's like, look, he has an issue with me. I really don't care. I don't have an issue with him. And I already told him, it's like, if he has an issue, fucking swing at me. I'm not gonna do anything to provoke him. I'm not gonna do anything to go at him. I'm gonna call him out on his shit if he comes up to me and does anything.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna swing.
Again, most smart thing to do.
Yeah, and I'll sit there and let him fucking swing all he wants, because I guarantee it, ain't fucking... What's he gotta do?
What you gonna do, brother?
Last time somebody fucking threw a punch at my head, they broke their hand.
That's because you got a thick skull. We know this going forward.
I am very thick fucking headed, but that's the last
No,
time I.
shit, we've known this for a while.
Yeah.
Look, for the length of time I've known you, which is pretty short, in the
4
world
years ain't
spectrum of
short.
things. But again, still short in the world spectrum of things. If I was a goldfish, it's a very fucking long time. But still, in the world perspective, I've come to the conclusion on day one that you're pretty much thick-headed, and you've electrocuted yourself over over the amount of times I've heard these different stories and that from yourself, from your mother, or from anybody else that's come across and who knows you pretty well or have heard and regaled the stories themselves. I have concluded already that hitting you would probably be interesting. It'd be like smacking your fist against a brick wall in some cases. So
Yeah, so it's like I don't have feeling like what some people do. That's the reason why I'll like get marks or bruises or cuts and scrapes in places on my body, and I won't even notice it. What was it? I ended up catching like my back on something at walk, and I put like a 3-inch gouge in my shoulder.
ooh.
And I didn't know about it.
Then you
I
bled
didn't.
like a stuck pig and didn't realize it.
Oh, I did. I did. And I had somebody come up to me and it's like, "What'd you do, laying coolant?" And it's like, "No." And it's like, "Your back's wet." And I went to go look and there's just blood all the way down my fucking back. It's like, "What the fuck you do?" It's like, "I don't know. I think I bumped up against something." So it's like I'm good at taking fucking punches. I'm good at taking hits.
So basically,
If
you
he,
have that.
if
You
if
have
it
the
make
Homer Simpson cranium.
if it'll make the little man feel big to fucking throw punches at me, fine. I'll fucking oblige him, and then he can get banned from the bar afterwards.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. I mean, I've had similar issues, not towards me for the most part, but had to deal with a group of plebeians who think they're big and tough and that, and unfortunately, it doesn't end well for those types of people, especially bartenders that know you or the bar that sees the final conclusion and can kind of shore up very quickly and kind of go, these guys were the aggressors. These guys were just doing fuck all. You guys, you're bound for the year. You're never to come back. I've seen it happen multiple different times.
And here's the thing, yeah, everyone knows me at that point. Everyone knows that I ain't gonna do anything. It's like, yeah, I'll get in someone's face. They get in my face for no apparent fucking if I don't know you and you get in my face for some stupid reason, I'll get right back in your face. I'm not gonna be aggressive though, and I'm not gonna throw punches though. But if you're gonna be aggressive towards me, I'll be aggressive towards you. For him, it was a little bit different because I knew his game. He likes to mouth, he likes to get people pissed off, and he likes to try to get in fights. And it's like, I'm not taking bait.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, fuck, I've had 3 drinks poured on my head simultaneously in this bar, and
I know.
I lost my shit,
and a few other different people. So
yeah, I might have lost my shit a couple times, but I've never been fucking aggressive. And I think there's been a total of 15 people kicked out of that place because they wanted to go at me, and it's like, yeah, go fuck yourself. Not saying that's a good thing, but that's just what's happened, and it's like, and this guy is a constant fucking issue.
Well, I mean, I'd say that Wesley's a constant, fucking issue, but he knows his place.
Yeah. The owner wants nothing more but to be able to ban this guy from the bar. Well, because it's one less headache for him.
Well, of course. I mean, you want if you're an owner of a bar, yes, you want to have a lot of you want the people to come in to spend their money and not have to fight about certain things. You want to have a nice cheer-like bar where everybody knows your name. You're coming in to have a good time. You're all somewhat friends, even though you may not run on the same kind of social clique. The commonality for everybody is you're coming to that bar to spend quality time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. Sometimes you end up like MASH and you have a person that you just can't stand.
Now, unfortunately, you get one mouthy little shit that ruins the fun for everyone else.
Yeah. Now,
I've got a ship made up that says my name is not Aaron, it's Taylor. I'm about half tempted to have a legitimate shirt made, mouthy little shits
yeah.
on mouthy little shit on the front, and on the back be the definition of someone who thinks they're big and bad to call someone names and then want to get in a fight about it afterwards because they can't take criticism.
No, that's true. I've got a question. It's kind of like a divergence, but it's within the same kind of ballpark of the thing. So, have you seen the series Cheers?
Yes.
Okay. So within that kind of where everybody wants to know your name. Yeah, where everybody knows your name. So within that kind of archetype, within the characters in a bar setting, which character do you think you would identify as? Are you like a Cliff Clavin? Are you like a Norm?
Oh man, that's been such a long time since I. Let me take a look here.
Yeah, Cliff was the mail carrier that knew everything or thought he knew everything. Norm was the barfly that had his bar stool. He'd come in, same stool, same drink, everything. Are you? And again, you have Sam, who's the owner, but he, has a unique personality for the most part.
Woody.
Oh, you're like a Woody. So you're like a Woody. Okay. All right.
I would have to say it'd be like Woody.
Okay. All right. It's kind of interesting. I've kind of leaned towards
Woody or Norm?
I'm kind of in between the two of them, Norm and Cliff. Because if you give me a topic, I'll go with it, and because I know multiple different topics, I will be able to give you the right answer that you're seeking, even though you may have not have wanted it.
Yeah.
But I do have my bar area, and most people know me by name the moment I show up. The weird thing is I've got a buddy who is like Norm. He goes to every bar, and everybody somehow knows who he is, and I kind of go, how the fuck do they know you?
I'm not like that. I only got one bar, and whenever I walk into the bar, they don't ID me because they have to scan everyone's ID. I don't get my ID scanned, and as soon as I get my tag on, they've already got my beer poured on the table for me.
Nice. Yeah, it was kind of okay. Up here we don't do a lot of IDing on that, especially with the local pubs and that. But yeah, I had that for the longest time. Where you're able to go in, take a seat, and your drink is in front of you, and a conversation is happening from one of the barflies that are there, or from the from the bartender or from the waitress that's helping the bartender because it's packed or whatever.
Well, it's funny because one of the bartenders is my ex-sister-in-law.
Oh, okay.
And she got hired in like last November. So
nice.
That has been interesting, but any all animosity that we might have towards each other was pretty much quashed the second day I was there. Whenever she realized who I was and I realized who she was, and we both agreed that her sister is a fucking idiot and a slut and all this other good stuff. Right. So yeah, we agreed to agree on the certain aspects of what made that whole thing bad. So
no. Unfortunately, yeah, sometimes you have to kind of my sibling is kind of stupid.
Yeah, but
it's almost like having the son of Kim Kardashian fighting about the sex tapes while playing Roblox. That is like, the kid's 6, he's playing Roblox, the sex tape joke comes up, and he's like, Mom, please explain. Oh yeah, that is magnifique right there. So honestly, that's a real thing that actually happened. But Now,
That's
fuck
kind of
my-
a dick. That's kind of a dick move, but
unfortunately, look,
is what it is.
Roblox. It is Roblox, like Minecraft, has a very large audience pool. It's got some kids, it's got some teens, and it's got adults. So it's a huge audience pool. When you think Roblox or Minecraft, you go, oh, it's meant for kids, not realizing that the kids are now 45 and scratching themselves in awkward places. Who know about what your mom does or did. And even though you're going as an anon, you just made up a name and whatever you're whatever it is. But unfortunately, in the world of Minecraft or the world of Roblox, adult conversations come into play, and unfortunately, these kids are usually involved with it somehow because there's a group that they like to play with, and unfortunately, those are mostly adults. Oh, yeah. So
Yeah, and
yeah,
shit happens.
unfortunately, unfortunately, at the age of 6, he now knows that his mom's a whore.
But no, like I said, it's I have a pretty unique standing with the board. I mean, I know half the people come in there, so it is what it is. And really, I think most likely, I might piss George off for the simple fact of, he's in there in his cowboy hat, boots, cut blue jeans, nice button up shirt, standing about 4.5, 5 foot tall, and all because this place is a strip club.
Yeah, but he's the rhinestone cowboy. I mean,
he's the rhinestone cowboy, but all the girls are annoying him and commenting on, "Hey, I like your Ghostbusters T-shirt."
Yep, that's because here's the problem with people that do that, and the guys that peacock themselves to the nines, thinking that all these girls are going to come around here. Well, the girls there are there for a business.
That doesn't make money.
Yeah, you have to figure this out very quickly that they're there to make money. Look, I've been to many different gentlemen's bars, strip clubs, and I go in there knowing that they're there to make money. So I'll chat them up and I'll have a conversation. I mean, they're people. Yes, they show off their mummy milkers, but still, I have a couple of friends who treat it like it's the holy grail the moment they see mummy milker machines, and I'm like going, dude, they're just boobs.
Yeah, they're just sacks of fat and flesh. That's it.
Yeah. Oh, I've been trying to get this girl.
Sometimes there's artificial substances involved there, but
I know. But it's like I always like the weird conversations. Oh, I'm trying to get this girl to notice me. I'm like going, have you gone to them? Say hi.
Have you tried, buying them a dance? Have you tried doing a ladies drink?
Maybe
because within this bar is like, okay, it's just like any other strip club. You got the main stage area. So when and they do 2 song rotations. So a girl will be on stage and they'll play through 2. They will play through 2 songs, and then it rotates through all the girls that are there. Afterwards, the girls will
hit the floor.
Yeah, crowds the ball.
They go backstage to get themselves somewhat prepped up. They hit the floor, and then they do the little walk around, going, "Hey, seen you here before. Hey, do you mind? Would you like me to give you a private dance?" And that kind of thing.
Yeah,
not difficult.
It's not difficult at all. And actually, in this place, with the you got a 2-song VIP, you got 3-song VIP, you got a champagne room, which is I think it's like 4 or 5 songs.
Still.
And you get a bucket of champagne. You go back there for 4 or 5 songs, talk to the girls. That's what that is.
Actually, there's usually no champagne in the champagne room.
Just saying. That's and it's not a champagne. It's that Welch's grape shit.
Yes, it is. There is no champagne in the champagne room.
Yeah, it's and then they have what's called a shower show, which is like 2 songs, and you get watch them take a shower. I don't know what the appeal for that one is, but okay.
Okay. For me, there is number 5 Orange here in BC. Now it's famous for most Americans if they've watched X Files because of was David Duchovny, because he used to frequent number 5 Orange for the most part. So for them, they have the stage, and in a small section of the stage is the shower area, so they can do a live shower routine in front of an audience, especially near the creep seats. The creep seats are those who are up front of the actual stage.
Per row.
I know, front row, yeah, definitely. So I brought a friend who was down on his luck. He was early in the day, and he was like, I don't know what to do. He's had some issues, and that. I'm like, okay, let's do a bit of a walk. We can talk our way down there. And as we're going towards the downtown area, and again, I'm in the suburbs, going towards the downtown area, walking, and it's quite a few, multiple blocks, 50 or more. So by the time we get down there, an hour or so later, I'm like, let's get something to eat and drink, and he's like, well, why not, let's hit the number 5 Orange. I'm like, going at this time, number 5, yeah, sure, why not? So we go in, sit down. He takes the creep seats. I'm like, okay, fine. We go to the creep seats. I get a couple of drinks, and no word for a lie, the routine happens. The shower routine happens. Because he saw this girl, he liked her, and he caught it. The eye got caught, and he's like, "Well, I like the look of that one." He's like, "Okay, just watch the show, enjoy yourself." So he did, and then the shower routine happened, and yes, his jaw unhinged and fell between his legs.
God.
He was like, "Oh my God!"
And let me guess, you're just sitting there, it's like, yeah, I see it.
Yeah, I can see that she's showering in front of us. And he's now kind of factuate even more. I'm like going, you do know that you can go up and go behind the other room there and have a couple of numbers, lap dances if you want to. Go for it, have fun. I'll just here eat my wings. Jesus Christ. It was like, all right. That was his best moment that he's ever had, by the way. He watched a 10-minute shower routine. It felt like 10 minutes. Because it was slow and somewhat methodical. I was kind of bored out of my tree. I'm like, okay. But anyway, she did her song and dance.
There's only so much I can watch her rub in one spot.
Yeah, it's like... But I was kind of looking around for my food, like, is there food around the place? Can I get somebody here? I want food, please. I'm hungry. I've seen women that have been completely naked underwater or around water, so I'm good. I'm not worried about this. I'm just hungry.
Oh, and time out. And I guess I do need to make this known because there are people out there that is like this. If you feel like that you want to go to Captain Hook and tell her, hey, Sparky's been going to strip clubs, go right ahead. She's been down there with me before several times.
Yeah.
So
she
knows that's where I drink at, and she's got a hotline to the owner. So,
well, I mean, she can trust you. Obviously, you're coming home. You're not gonna do anything kind of crazy. Plus, I bet you anything. All the ladies there know that you're hooked up, and they're like,
they do.
Safe.
They do.
Be safe. I don't have to worry about crazy shit. If I need to, he'll help defend, that kind of thing. There we go. Boom. Plus,
well, it's not only that. It's like, I've walked the girls out to the cars because I'm someone that can be trusted. I've been invited over to several other girls' houses for either parties to kind of help chaperone or come over to help, do some repair work. They hired me in to either work on a appliance that wasn't working, or a vehicle that needed fixing, or some random bullshit like that. So I'm known. People know I can be trusted, and they usually come up to me. Is one of the things I usually do in that bar is like, if someone is creeping on one of the girls real hard, they know they can come up to me, and I will play blocker.
Yeah. Well, that's all you need to do. I mean, and again, that's something that I've always tried to teach the weirdos that I have that are friendly with me. AKA my friends. It's like, guys, just can we not be complete like douchebags and creep out on these girls and just treat them like, you know, people?
Human beings, because they are.
They're trying to do their job. Fuck. I've actually had it where I was, you know, walking by with this one chick who was doing a strip tease or whatever. She gets her knockers out and that, and then she grabs me, runs my face all over the place, and then I walk away like nothing's ever like that's normal. And the other people around me are like, oh my god, you just got a free. It's like, uh-huh.
And it's and you see one set touch, you see them all.
And she's got a good pair, but and I'm not going out of my way to.
Wednesday is like Miss Sparky. Sparky was at a strip club. Punish him. It's like,
Yes.
yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Punish him. No.
But it's
But no,
like and there's all the fucking guys in there. You know, they don't want to talk to the fucking girls, and they get pissed off because the girls won't talk to them. It's like, that's what the ladies' drinks are for. You'll pay.
Yep.
It's like, well, I ain't paying $20 for a fucking ladies' drink for the girls to sit down with me and talk to me. It's like, well, that's a service because they are walking around to make money. If they are going to stop walking around from making money to talk to you, you've got to make it worth their while. The drink is basically a placeholder for, hey, here's $20. Come sit with me for a time or however long this drink lasts and come talk to me. This is my placeholder for, hey, instead of going around asking for dances, you can sit down and talk to me, but you're still going to make money. And a lot of people don't get that fucking concept.
No, and that's something that I try to teach the other ones that kind of it goes over their head because all they see is a meat thing that they can fuck. And I'm like, well, that meat thing that you can fuck has a brain and a personality, so you might want to get used to the personality. And then, because there was okay, when I was doing the private sector for security, I was working for the RCMP. We were doing the GHG20 summit. I was stationed in Toronto at the time frame. Where I was located was within the Arts College District, which is close to Yonge Street, which is one of the longest street in Ontario, Toronto. But it was also 5 minutes away from a strip bar, like literally walking distance. So every day for the 2 weeks that we were there, we would partake in the strip club. The bouncers knew who we were. The owners knew who we were. The bartender knew exactly what drinks we were going to have right away. We had our own personal seats. We went through all of the ladies that were there, and we pretty much had run of the entire place, and we knew all the ladies by first name, if not by last name as well.
Mm-hmm.
But and vice versa on the opposite end of it. So we were always just cycling through as a group, just having fun. And if something got weird, well, we were there to help out. And I explained to them that I'm kind of more of a security-minded individual. I've seen this kind of program before. I understand it, and by that time frame, they were giving me like personal lap dances or personal shows. Hell, they'd spend quality time at our table, just chit-chatting away until, you know, somebody else got their attention.
Yeah.
So, and everybody was jealous of us. I'm like, going, guys, all you have to do is just treat these people people.
Yeah, that's all you got to do. And that's all I ever fucking do down there. It's like, so we, one of the girls that was there from a long time ago came back. And I've known her for a time, even before she worked at this place. I've known her for like 10 years. And she went back to working there just like 2 weeks ago, and it's like last week. And one of my buddies, he owns his own mower business. So every time he gets done mowing lawns, he'll have his truck and trailer with the lawnmowers on the back there, and he'll park in the back. And well, she caught his eye, and he just would not fucking stop creeping on her. I mean, it wasn't a bad creep, but it was just like, you know, he wouldn't take the hint of like, yeah, no, she's not interested in going someplace with you.
Yeah,
and he was being very subtle about it. And it's like, he's also somebody that's very frequent of the bar. He does a lot of work for the owner and stuff like that. So, you know, I know what he's thinking. He can get away with some of this stuff, but it's like he just would not stop. And at the end of the boy, I'm sitting there helping clean up because I'll stay there even when the lights are on. She'll kick everyone else out, and I'll still be sitting there. I'll buy like a 6-pack of beer and sit outside on the table. I'll grab them and I'll drink them. And I'll help like clean up the bar, clean up the floor. Take out trash, something like that. Walk the girls out if I'm there that late. Yeah. And he goes to leave, and she walked out to her car, and he pulls up in his truck and trailer, and it's just parked up right next to her. And he's like, sitting there trying to have a conversation with her. It's like, you sure you're just going home and go sleep? Yeah, I'm going home and go sleep. And it's like, no, I don't think you are him. Just kept doing the run around mill and stuff like that. And I hear this, I grab my beer, I go out there. And as he's talking, I climb up on the trailer. And I get on the lawnmower. It's like, come on, let's go, let's go. On the back of the lawnmower on the trailer, it's like, hey, don't fuck with the hydraulics. Like, well, I'm trying to get this fucking to move, but it won't move. Come on, let's go, come on. And about that time, he gets in the fucking... He takes off in the truck, and he goes up by mine. He's like, you fucking asshole. And it's like, who's the asshole? And about that time, she takes off and goes down the road, and it's like, well, you have a good night. Walk back, grab my other beers, and got back to the truck, and he fucking drives off. And then, then the next time I see her, it's like, thank you for getting that guy off of me. It's like, I didn't do much. Just want to see how fast lawnmower go on the trailer.
Definitely. I mean, it is about giving no fucks. That's why, and just
that's why I love GNF.
I know. So it's just you just do your thing and just treat people like people for the most part. If they want to be idiots, and they're idiots, you can call them on their stupidity and you keep on rolling. That's all it is.
Actually, here's something that happened the other night. And it wasn't at this bar. It was at another bar I drink at. It's out down on the lake. It's called Blank Swan. And basically, they do karaoke 2 times a night. And 2 of my buddies that I drink for, I've never seen them do karaoke. And it happened to be, I guess it was AC/DC night.
Got it.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to
You're gonna torture me with somebody singing AC/DC.
Yes, but I want you to listen to this and tell me what you actually honestly think about this.
Trust me, honest. One, you're gonna get an honest reaction regardless of the situation. I'm not gonna, candy coat it unless I have to be PG-13, and I will have a hard time doing that. So,
all right. Let me share this.
Bring on the torture device. I'll just get my scrotum all nice and ready for the the shocker. And
all right, here we go. I've got it pulled up in I see that in the chat now.
All right.
Okay, here.
I should go live on your end because
Maybe you should.
I should. Anyways, go for it.
The DJ's having a fucking good time because he's nailing it.
You won't know that it's good when you have somebody who does right. He's got an Evans type feel. There's something about it that doesn't fit.
Yeah,
you can tell that he's trying to be, or it feels like he's trying to be. If that makes sense.
Yeah, and like I said, it was AC/DC night, and this was a second buddy of mine.
No.
Now,
I mean,
here's this one.
He has it with. I mean, I like the attempt of trying to imitate. His imitation is the greatest form of flattery. But I don't know. I would like to be able to hear if that's her natural voice.
It's not.
That's what I mean. It's like I would like to, because again, their natural singing voice is why I like to hear. But imitation is great. It's fine, but it's like
well, the first one I showed does another song. It's fuck, I can't remember the name of that. I believe it's the theme song for Deadliest Catch. Either Deadliest Catch or Ice for Truckers. I can't remember what. It's a Bon Jovi one. So,
okay. Because
and you can tell the difference in his voice.
well, I can find it very quickly. Because I know they were trying to do the Van's voice. Okay. I like the DJ.
Oh no, I got a video of him. There's a song I get him to do every fucking time I'm down there.
I like the DJ. The other dude that's singing, he's fine.
All right, I'll show you the DJ.
Yeah, give me the DJ. I'm curious on his. All right. Okay. I like his style. Too bad. I mean, if he was younger, it'd be great. But
he's at 43.
I know. I mean, like I said, if he was younger in his 20s, like mid-20s, early 30s, he'd probably be able to get a good jump start of a good career later than life. He might be able to pull it.
So his setup, the computer for his setup, I built that. So. He was pointing at me.
Of course.
Like, you son of a bitch, you're getting me seen, son of a bitch.
No, but again, it is. I I like it when the DJs get involved for the most part, especially when it comes down to their own karaoke setup.
All right.
and-
Well, all right. Let me go back to the AC/DC one. The second one.
Yeah. Okay, see. Again, like I said, I like it when people who are going to an AC/DC song to do their own take on it, not trying to imitate the lead singer of whatever incarnation of that band was. Just yes, it's an iconic voice.
He's sitting there fucking losing his shit.
Yeah, well, I know he is. He's having fun because that's what karaoke is supposed to be. It's supposed to be fun. But I really like it when people just do their own thing. You know, and not have to play the let's honor the lead singer or lead singers. But again, ooh, wow, that, ooh, okay. Yeah, they just should just simply do their own voices and not do the. Yeah. It's up there trying to get Markiplier to understand the rules of football. That's what the kind of feel kind of gives me.
Okay, so here comes down the question. Do you want to listen to me?
Go for it. Let's bring it on. I've already gotten through 3. I only like 1 out of the 3 so far. Natural voice for the gray-haired, full-headed dude. I actually don't mind. I quite enjoy the take from the runner, the DJ of the actual thing. The other dude you got. I would love to hear his natural voice, but go for it, Sparky. Let's. What do you got? What do you got? What do you got? Bring it on.
Time out. All right. I don't know why I can't find a video of the whole thing.
No, it's okay.
Spoiler alert: I suck.
No, dude, just the t-shirt that it got, I kind of went. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're definitely the redneck karaoke guy. I'm surprised you didn't sing some form of Japanese song while doing it. That would be better. Because usually what happens is during most karaoke's, there's always an Asian dude singing a Western song and some form of white dude singing an Asian song. And you kind of go, the stereotype exists because it actually happens.
I can't do the Japanese songs.
No, I get it. You might want to learn sukiyaki. That'd be, there's an English translation. What is it? If only you. What was it? Also, you have to put in a bit more into it. You gotta own it. Because the way how you're singing here, so it is like behind. You're singing it because you see it in front of you, and you have no passion into it.
Well, I can't remember the tone of it. It's like there's a certain tone to sing and to make the music sound right.
Yeah.
And I can't get the tone down.
No, you can't, and that's where right there you.
There's one song.
You're behind something when you should be projecting.
Yeah. And it doesn't help that the microphone's toned down.
Yes, It's probably turned out for a reason.
He starts at the song and walks away because sometimes it depends on the song. Because I think the last song I did, it was too loud, and he adjusted it down. And it's just, and I accounted for that, and I sang a lot softer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the second one.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
good attempt. I give you that golf clap. That's very silent.
golf clap. That's really silent.
um.
Well, let me see if I can't, because these are the ones I downloaded.
Yeah.
And there's another one. It's like I've done Friends in Low Places.
Okay. No, I think I heard you do that rendition. That sounded a bit more confident.
That was a long time ago too, and I was a lot more drunk.
Even though it was out of tune, it was more confident. It was like I look. I enjoy someone who's going to try to do a song even out of tune with confidence.
Yeah, let me see if I can't find this. It's probably gonna take a minute to download, but
okay, it's fine. I can impress myself for about a minute, or amuse myself, impress myself. Wow, I can't English again. When did I ever English? I mean, seriously. Oh, Jesus Christ! Englishing is one of those giant
hassles.
Yeah, steep hill to climb. Yeah, hassle's a good one. That seems about correct. See, you English better than I do. And I have a big brain. I guess my brain is so big that English is just kind of a wash. Yeah. No, what is the actual title of Is it Sukiyaki?
I wish I had more of me doing karaoke.
Yeah.
But I don't.
It's fine.
because every time that came up, my phone battery died. So I never was able to catch it. But I do have a new phone now. I ended up buying the new iPhone 13 Max Plus. Battery life's really good, and it has a terabyte storage on it because I bundled the 256 I had on the other one. Nice. But also I had the other one since 2016 as an iPhone 7 Plus, and I decided it was time for upgrade whenever I got tired of doing the jiggle dance with the fucking power cord to get the damn thing to charge, and one of the earpiece speakerphone finally went out. So the only way I could make phone calls was on speakerphone. Because the actual earpiece went out on the phone. So I figured that was, it was time.
Oh, it's good that you've decided to move yourself up to the modern age. Congratulations.
Well, it's not moving up to the modern age. If it's not broke, why replace it?
No, I understand, but you can only be behind the times for so long. Before,
I do love this fucking camera on this phone. It is fantastic. The clarity of the pictures, especially taking nighttime pictures, and the zoom on this phone. Oh my god, I love this phone.
Good.
I kind of choked to myself whenever I went to go buy the Otterbox for it.
It's kind of expensive.
Expensive.
Not match for a 3D printed plastic that you just got to wrap around. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. All right, so I got this one. I believe this one is going to. I've got two of them downloaded.
All right.
First one is going to be Friends in Low Places.
All right.
And this was from a while ago. This wasn't the other night.
Well, I can tell you, sleeveless.
and I was completely trashed.
Mm. I usually say just pick an octave and go with it, but your approach is pretty good. All right, so
Yeah, my octaves all over the place. I know.
no. You are more of a. I would see you more of a baritone.
Yeah, the songs like Better for More Horses.
Yeah.
Other ones like that have that low range to it, I can do.
I would suggest hitting more baritonal. Even if you have to take something that's more meant for a tenor and bring it down to.
I was a Country Boy Can Survive is one I can do.
There you go. So yeah, no, I would say just you could do exactly the same thing.
There's a reason why. There's a reason why I did this song that night.
Oh,
Because one, I was hammered. Two, my ex's mom was in the other part of the bar playing pool.
Okay.
So there's a reason why I played this song.
Still, no, I would say going forward, even if you take something that's a higher octave, you can always bring it down to fit your range. I would say keep within your baritonal ranges, and you'll be fine.
All right, and here's
I'm more of a baritonal in singing. I can do a bit like alto, but I can't go too high.
All right, I think this is Devil went down to Georgia.
That could be a difficult song. You need a bit more twang.
Huh?
You need a bit more twang.
Yeah. I don't know why my phone's not picking up the volume. I think it's because the placement of what the speaker is.
Yeah, it is. But from what I'm able to hear, you've got most of it figured out. It's just you've got to sound more country. You I hate to say it, you're one of those country singers. Unfortunately, you have that, not really the look per se. Yes, you're probably a country boy, but you have more of that vocals. Keep yourself in baritones. Give yourself up to the country.
It's keeping the
feel.
tone. It's keeping the tone that I have an issue with.
Yeah. So that's all it is. You can change a few things overall, but again, be true to yourself, and you should have improved most of your singing. That's all it is. I think you're doing pretty good out there. Keep practice. That's all I can say.
That's well, thank you. Coming from you, that means a lot.
I'm not saying I'm an expert or anything, but I kind of go, I can see there's some issues. Keep practicing, have fun, stick with what you know best. Don't hit any weird high octaves because that's where your vocals are going to go over the place.
Yeah, it's if it's songs that has low range to it, I can do it just fine.
No, I can totally hear that. It's
that,
rumor.
and it's probably not something that's this fast, but the same range.
Yeah. Well,
No,
this
there's another one that I did, but I don't have it recorded. Is Billy
it's
has his
fine.
bill goggles on.
It's good. But songs like this, you need to practice more with it because again, it has a certain flow and beat. But you also have to treat it like you're a storyteller.
Mm-hmm.
It like Jack Black, he has a decent voice. He doesn't have the greatest of all voices. He's got a decent voice, and he's stuck to his niche market. He knows exactly what he's telling you a story, which is the reason why most people like him as a singer, even though he's not the up there. I mean, he's not a Keanu Reeves when it comes down to singing.
Yeah. But no, that's some of my escapades while drinking at a karaoke bar.
Well, yeah,
I frequent that bar a couple different times. It's
no, you frequent that bar quite often. I mean, seriously, I wouldn't.
I don't. Every now and then is why I frequent it. It's because it's like 40-minute drive from my house. So, and cops like to hit that road really fucking hard at certain times of the night. So
yeah, because of the factor that it's a fishing, they might actually get somebody being stupid.
Yeah. So I really pick and choose when I go out there.
No, makes sense.
But for this weekend, no. This weekend will be a weekend to go out there because cops are all over that place because it's Easter.
Easter, man. It's Easter weekend. Or at least it's almost over.
Thank God.
Oh, fucking God. No, my sister had her birthday yesterday. She hung out with her friends. She was upset that the rest of the family, my brother, me, my mother, it was a conversation between my mother and me, and we were like, so she was like, do you want us to do the turkey for Easter, Easter weekend? Because we ended up having 2 birds for the Christmas holiday. We only ended up having to use up 1 because not many people showed up. So that was great. So I'm like going, sure, I don't see a problem with it. It's either that or have that bird get frostbitten. Come on, we've had it since December. Let's cooker that bad boy up and sacrifice its life the way it was supposed to be, so it can be resurrected from its dead.
Well, time out. You know what Easter means, right? Lockdowns are not successful.
Yeah. Yeah. But so pretty much. So my mother told the sister that what was going to happen. She got upset that the factor that she made some plans about what about my birthday dinner, and she was like, "Well, you didn't tell us that. I mean, you're in your 30s. You're a big girl now. You don't include us in anything since you were 19. So what the fuck?" So she went off to do whatever she wanted to do, like dim sum or something with her friends and that. And so yeah, it's been nice. It's been very pleasant not having the entire family here. It's just been very quiet.
It's kind of like when we stream here and Pin's not present.
I know. It's like, oh my God, I don't have to deal with the conflicts of questionable moralities.
Although I do wish Pin was here.
Well, the only way you're gonna get her to show up is if you put up like some degree of Final Fantasy, and then all of a sudden, boom, she'll magically appear. Oh, speaking of which, have you heard about this weird this fantasy wedding that Penn had?
No. Do I want to know?
She apparently now, Wesley, correct me if I'm wrong, and this I know there's a delay, but there was a ceremony that Penn did with one of her LARPing friends. And then technically, their characters are married in the Final Fantasy 14 world. Which is going to be I think it would be the only closest thing that Pan is actually going to get to a real life kind of, kind of a homogeny kind of a relationship. Oh, fuck me. Yeah, when I heard that, I was like going, seriously? Yeah. Hell, I told KG, and he was like, I didn't get an invite. I mean, you could have seen the motherfucker, it'd be a lot easier, but no, Pen. She kept it a quiet ceremony, and then I found out because of Dragon and Wesley. So I'm like, okay. Got my confirmations overall. I'm not going, yeah, okay, so you're gonna go with a fake wedding and not have to deal with a real one. I know you can't marry the cats, but I mean, seriously. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
is what it is.
I know. So yeah, so technically she is now married, and I put that in air quotes. Her family doesn't know about it, so it's been a secret marriage that they don't know about. And yeah, it's weird.
Oh.
It's weird.
Okay. Let me switch topic on it.
All
So, have you been keeping up with my dress up dolling?
So have I been with your dress up doll?
No, the show, my dress up dolling.
Oh, okay, no, that because there was a cutout on my end. All I heard is, "Have you been with my dress up doll?" I'm like, wait, what?
No. Have you kept up with the anime, my dress
No.
up dolling?
No, I have not kept up with the anime of my dress up. Yes.
Okay.
But just my brain just kind of had a basic meltdown.
I wasn't even intending that to be a meltdown moment.
Yes, it was like, what? Anywho, no, I have not caught up with
All
that
right.
particular anime.
So me, Tyler, and KG got done recording that one last week.
Okay.
And Tyler overall liked the show. I had an issue with it. Because the fact that Marin was a cosplayer and she was also a model, he felt that the show was deceiving the audience on how those type of people are, and she is not a realistic character. Because she is too nice, she's too outgoing, and she is too caring. And I'm sitting there going, it's like, I know plenty of people that model and do cosplay that act like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, they're not gonna get with someone like Gojo, and they're already taken. And it's like, that's not the point of the show.
I don't know. I was raising up my hand there because I had a massive question. What kind of personality was he expecting with that particular character?
The cold, prude, SJW type that snarls and snaps at everyone.
Wow.
That's what I said. It's like, that's kind of a reach.
Wow. That hurts. That ouch. I've known people who do cosplay and ouch. They're not like that. Sorry.
No,
yes,
they're not.
They're the small vocal again, a very small vocal minority. I love using
he shadows this with the fact that he's watched Comic Cons before and he's met cosplayers and models that act like that. It's like, yes, but not every cosplay and model act like that. You might have ran into a bad batch of them, but they're not all. It's like you're lumping a huge group of people into a dynamic that probably doesn't need to be lumped into, because she's like, yeah, okay, yeah. It's like, you can say that Marin's character is too realistic. It's not realistic, but I can say it's very realistic because I know people like that. Now, the taste in boyfriends and the taste of the person that they get together with, might be a little different. Doesn't mean they're not out there. It's like, fuck, look at me and Captain Hawk.
Yeah. Do I have to? No. No. Think about this. With all the different areas that you can cosplay, whether it be in the gaming circuit, the anime circuit, the comic circuit, hell, even the wrestling circuit, and that there are sci-fi conventions. The list goes on. Okay. So you have all these different cosplayers, and even though these cons exist, the people who go out of the way to dress up or are booked to play as a character is very small. It's almost like the LGBT community, especially the trans community. It's very small in numbers. And
Well,
out of that small numbers, you're going to have some really weird eggs.
yeah. Well, and it's not even that. It's like, well, for one, Marin is doing this as a hobby. She's not in cosplaying as a profession. She's doing it as a hobby. So you can't lump her into the group of the people that does it. Like Christine. You can't refer to her like Christine Sprinkles or some of the other ones are like that. And it's like, and two, yeah, she's a model. But she didn't go into the profession of modeling because she wanted to. And they even told the backstory behind it in the show. She was at a salon getting her hair done, and one of the editors to a magazine saw her and offered her a side job. So she is a amateur model. So she does it on the side. She never pursued it because that's what she wanted to do. She's doing it because it's a side gig for her. It's like, it's like even for the people who do these side gigs or don't ever do it, they still have that attitude. It's like, how do you know? You probably ran into him once.
Yeah, and again, it's like I've dealt with different entertainers. I've taken my time to deal with the personalities that exist, and then I kind of do what Wesley just said. Blank isn't real life. Cosplay isn't real life. Anime isn't real life.
All right, so and this is a weird thing about this because me and him had a conversation after this, and he wants to bring this up in one of our other shows, and I told him, I was like, you bring this up, I'm gonna shit it all down because this is a really stupid take you want to go down with this. So the thing that he wants to do is a romance comedy that wants to focus more on the romance, not on the comedy, and wants to make it seem like more real life. And this is what he sees that, this is the kind of show that the lonesome loser guy will go into and watch and think that there is hopes and dreams and aspirations for him to go from, there's a goal like this, and get the hopes up and shut it down. And it's a dangerous type of concept to present to someone, and it's like, Tyro, that's the exact same thing that the SJWs use for like shows on unrealistic characters, or for the fact of first-person shooter games causes massive outreaches of violence towards people. It's like that's the exact same concept as no, it's not. It's like, yes, it is.
It is. Okay. Here's idea. Does he understand a male point of view when it comes down to? I know he's a guy. I get it, but does he fully understand the male point of view when it comes down to romance-based movies? It's only a small handful that have appealed to men.
No, he doesn't.
Like, as a broad,
he's gone into romance because of me.
I get it, and you have a different taste on what romance comedies and all that. I have a different taste, and so on and so forth. But again, in the movie world, how many have you seen The Princess Bride?
Yes.
Did you like The Princess Bride?
Not really, but
All right. It is a different take because again, it follows a typical I want to say pretty close to 80s, 90s type male-focused romance comedies. If you look at it, country boy, princess, that was kind of the idea. Love is kind of strange in that. There was Say Anything. That's another one that came out not that long ago. That's Love Actually, another one. They keep going. Fuck. What was that one that was based off of a graphic novel where he had to beat up the 7 ex-boyfriends because they were super bosses and that was another one. Scott Pilgrim. That's another one that most guys kind of flock towards because there's a bit of action, there's a bit of comedy, there's a bit of romance that goes with this. It's off kilter, it makes no sense. And he's trying to do something that would be more or less focused towards a female perspective and thinking that men are going to show up.
Yeah. Well, and all overall is like, he gave the show a A-tier rating, which for him is really high up there.
Yeah,
But
I gathered that.
But it's like this. It's like he says the only issues he has is like with Mom because she's unrealistic to get together with a guy like Gojo, and it's like it's not unrealistic. It happens. And it's like at the end of the day, it's like I know what it is. You're sitting here trying to explain this away without trying to sound like you're putting a personal bias against this. But unfortunately, it's like you are putting a personal bias against this because of the fact that it's not happening to you. Or it's not happened to you. And that's what you keep coming back to. It's like, and unfortunately, that's just the way you take this. And it's nothing wrong against you. It's your own opinion. It's your own viewing of the show.
There you go.
That's fine.
Yeah, no,
but you can't say overall that it's because she is an unrealistic character. It's an anime.
Well, yeah, but again, keep in mind that the anime is based off of an actual realistic archetype that exists in the world. Sometimes dialed up to 11. Sometimes it's left naturally because Karens exist.
Yeah.
They're there, and you can't dial them up any further because they're crazy bad shit women. If you take these crazy bad shit women, put them in a relationship, sometimes it goes well, sometimes not so much.
Yeah. Well, and it's like the whole deal. It's like we ended up getting to, I can't remember what it was. It was another one we were doing, but it's like Monica Rial got brought up. Okay. Oh yeah, that's because she is doing the voice of Index. Oh yeah. And so magical. We haven't gone to some magical Index yet, but it got brought up. It's like, well, all the stuff she does is trash and needs to burn and stuff like that. And it's like, Tyra, what difference is there between you saying that and Kick Vic?
Yeah,
there isn't. It's like, look, there's a difference between disliking and protesting against someone, or trying to rally people against going against someone. So there's big differences in that. It's like, look,
as a voice actor, don't mind if I bump in here. As a voice actor, even on the Western side of the front, I don't like every voice. There's certain characters I hate Vic in. And I wish he never played those characters. But he was there, he was present, he was available. Same thing with Monica Rial. Regardless of their political stance, there are certain things that their voices do not meet up with those characters or my expectations of the characters. Henceforth, for a person like myself, I go subs over dubs. But if perchance there is a dub that's already available, I'm going to grab it.
Yeah. Well, hey, Drago. Well, it's like this. It's like, look, I don't agree with what Monica Rial did. At all. I don't. And frankly, I think it was a bullshit move. However, I'm not going to sit here and rally against everyone else. It's like, kick her out, kick her out, kick her out. You know why? Because you're doing the exact same thing everyone over in the Kick Vic side's doing. And it's like, you want to be better than the other side, not do the exact same shit that they're doing. So I'm not going to do that. I will criticize her walk if she does something I don't like. I will praise her walk if she does something I do like. Like in My Hero Academia. She plays the voice of Sparky. She does a damn good job of playing the voice. I will give her credit for that. And another one, Bulma. She does do a good Bulma voice. It matches from the original one. She does a good job at matching up the voices.
Yes. And again, I'm not going to take that away from her skill set. Like I said, there's certain characters English voice actors, I kind of go, okay, I like that voice. It works well with that character. And others, I kind of go around, why did you hire this person? This voice sounds crap.
Yeah, and that's the way I look at it. It's like, look, they do a good job voicing a voice. Yeah. Kudos. I congratulate you. I'm not watching the show though, because I'm a Monica Rial fan. I'm not watching the show because I hate Monica Rial. I'm watching the show because her services got hired to play a voice. I'm sitting there watching a character, and a person voice the character, not the person.
That's true.
And at the end of the day, here's the way it goes. Depending on some contracts. By the time the show comes out, it doesn't matter how many views they get. It doesn't matter how well the show does. No. They already got paid.
Yeah, they did, so it doesn't matter.
So what's the point in fucking protesting them?
Yeah, it is. It's. I understand that they've done Vic dirty, but again, they've done a lot of people dirty. Vic is just one person that has been brought up to a spotlight. There's probably again a good handful of people that have been done dirty and then haven't been brought up to the same form of echelon as Vic has, because he's more well known for certain characters. How dare you do him dirty? Well,
Well, and it comes out. It comes down to it like this too. It's like I said, I'm not going to go after Monica Rial and say, "Hey, you need to get out of the industry." I will criticize her on her walks, and I will throw back the shit that she has done at Vic to her if it comes out. And there is a moment she's done that, like with this one guy that came out that he was dealing a fucking 16-year-old.
Yeah, what's his face?
Yeah, and she is really good friends with him, and it's like, fine, I will throw that back in your face. Hey, what about this? What's your stance on this? What are you gonna say about this? I'll do that, but I'm not gonna sit here and rally against her and go, oh yeah, she needs cancel. She needs cancel. You know better.
Yeah, and it doesn't work because she'll never get canceled, because hey, guess what? It's her group that's always being hired by a certain studio. Because guess what? She performs, the group that she hires performs, and people tend to watch that dubbed anime.
Yeah. So whatever you're for subs or dubs, it doesn't matter. I've got into watching subs because one, Crunchyroll doesn't like to do the subtitles on the dub animes. And two, the people I watch the shows with to do recordings would rather do the subs, so it's like whatever. But for me, if there is a dub out and I am watching the show myself, I'm watching the dub, regardless of not if it sounds good or bad, because I want to focus on the story. I don't want to read a show.
Well, I've gotten to a point where I can actually kind of have a good barrage with the entire screen and still be able to pick up on the lower peripherals of what's being said.
My vision ain't that
got
good.
to a point, but it takes a while. It's a lot of practice to do that. But I get it. Trust me, when I do any form of watch along, I'm not pulling out a sub. That's for sure. I'm going to be pulling out a dub.
Yeah.
So unless it doesn't come with one, then. But anyways, let's focus on Drago since he's here.
Yeah, let's pick on Dragon.
Dragon, what have you been up to?
Cocaine.
That's usually a good starter. I mean, isn't it the holiday weekend and you're doing cocaine right now? You should have started at the beginning of Friday. Good Friday, lead it off with the resurrection on Monday.
Oh yeah, and Gil, if it's a good anime without a dub, I'll watch it, but dubbed is preferred. It's like
yes.
Yeah, and I don't get the mentality with the whole fucking, dub fanatics or sub I don't get the mentality. It's the same thing as the console wars. It's a pointless fucking stupid battle. Who cares? If you like the dub,
I will give you a bit of justification, but we'll continue with your round.
Well, I mean, go ahead.
Alright, so the reason of why the sub and dub argument exists, the same thing with the console war versus the PC, plebeians, is because of the factor the script is slightly different when it comes down to the dub, because they're translating it from an original Japanese content and more focused on what's happening in that world. They're trying to bring it to a relatable for the Western Front, being North America for the most part, because that's where the population is. Canada, in the United States. So,
and I can understand that one.
And they're going to adjust accordingly, which is reasonable. But I want to have the original context of the storytell without having the political narrative thrown in, because they may have said something that has nothing to do with the LGBTQ NLP type group, but for some reason, somebody on the Western Front has decided to make that apart because of discriminacy that's shown up on the screen. So they can kind of we can make this part of of a certain agenda or a certain talking point that needs to be focused on for some reason, and it doesn't.
And that's why if I have the option to watch dubs with subtitles on it, I will watch dubs with subtitles on it, because usually the subtitles are the Japanese subtitles.
Yes, because I usually go. I usually do that. If I do a dub, I want the subtitles because I find it hilarious.
Because I want to see the differences on. And you know what? That's one of the things I want to focus on too. Is like, what is the differences? Because I know there's got to be cultural differences in this. I know for a fact. Like this. Here's one. I actually want to go back and I want to do this just to see. Like Pokemon, the second movie.
Yeah.
Okay. So everyone's seen Pokemon 2000, right?
Yes.
Okay. What is the main?
Dragon, he might have.
All right. What is the main clinching point of that story?
Pokemon 2000.
Hold up, I gotta pull the memory records up of that one.
The Chosen one.
You're talking about so you're talking about the one with
Lugia.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. That would have been that came out in '99. My God, that my brain.
Here's the reason why I say this. Here's the reason I say this because for the English, the movie, yes, the 3 books, the movie goes along just fine. Now here's the way it goes. There's a prophecy within that show.
Yeah, there is. I remember. It's supposed to be the one.
Let's see. Disturbed not the harmony of fire, ice, and lightning, thus these titans wreak destruction upon the world in which they clash.
I give him props for memorizing that.
Yeah, well, hang on, time out. I'm trying to remember it. Just give me a second. Hang on. Let me restart that one. All right. Disturb not the harmonies of fire, ice, and lightning. Thus these titans wreak destruction upon the world in which they clash. The water's great guardian will arise to quell the fighting, but alone its song will fail. Thus the world shall turn to ash. Now, for anyone who didn't catch that in the movie at the very beginning of it, I don't blame you for missing it. But the prophecy within that show is referring to Ash Ketchum.
I caught that when it ended with Ash. Yeah,
well, thus the world shall turn to ash. Now, it's very kind of
nerd.
I've memorized that. I've actually memorized that a long time ago.
Oh, hold the fucking phone. You've memorized that for the last God knows how many years?
Yeah,
since 1999.
So
last time I watched that movie has probably been about 8-9 years ago.
But still, since 1999, he's been getting that bad boy sunk into his cranium.
But here's the thing. In the English dub, that makes sense because the main character's name is Ash. However, if you watch it in the Japanese, the character's name is Satoshi.
Yeah.
So how does that work? I've never watched the sub version of the film, and that's actually one of the things I wanted to go through and watch and see how they did that.
I can tell you right now how it would they roughly translated it to a translation that made sense. Now, unfortunately, that prophecy was when it said Ash, it was being literal.
Yeah, it's being literal, and he ended up being, the chosen one, and his name happened to be Ash. I mean, it's one of those happenstances.
It was here's the problem. I believe it was referring to the power of one.
Yeah.
Not the chosen one.
Yeah, no, and in my way I've translated that was like, basically, if shit wasn't corrected, congratulations, the power of all 3 legendary birds. It's about to turn shit into ash.
Yeah,
that's how I translated it.
Yeah, I would have to actually look at the their script that they were going with, and I really don't bother to look at all the Pokemon related scripts that are out there. I'm like, But yeah, no, I know it's supposed to be referring to the power of one, or having one person unite all. Otherwise, if that one person doesn't unite all, then everything's going to go to shit, turn to ash. Now, in the American translation or a Western translation, I got it right away near the end because it's Pokemon, Pikachu, Ash Ketchum.
Yeah,
it's going to be focusing heavily on Ash.
Well, here's the cool thing. You want to know what the Japanese theme of the movie is? So so the English version is Pokemon the Movie 2000, the Power 1. The translation in Japanese is Pocket Monsters the Movie, the Phantom Pokemon Lugia's Explosive Buff.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's because that's actually who's supposed to be in it. The
Yeah.
three mythical birds. It makes sense to have them as somewhere in the title card to get people.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I mean, that was, I think, the goal of almost every fucking Pokemon movie was, put shit in
Merchandise.
the name.
Yeah, because if you look at it, the very first Pokemon was Pokemon I Choose You.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Well, no.
Yeah.
The first one was also known as what's the word I'm looking for? Oh yeah, I believe it was called Mewtwo Strikes Back.
that was another one. That was the major movie. Yeah. And
Oh
again,
man, I went
Pocket
back.
Monsters
I went back and looked at old fucking commercials for Pokemon the Movie 2000.
Uh-huh.
And it was so fucking bullshit because whoever wrote the commercials knew nothing about the franchise. And the way they presented it was like, witness Mew evolve into Mewtwo. And it's like, that's not what happened!
No,
Yeah, I
it's
know.
not what happened, but you know what's even funnier? What's a better marketing ploy than to make everyone think they're going to see something in a movie and for it to not happen?
Yeah.
You're not falsely advertising. You're just telling everyone what they should expect. What this is something that could be happening.
Yeah, and you know what? It's very ambiguous at the time because, one, the games were out. And anime was out, but there was no information. There was no information about Mewtwo.
No, there wasn't. There was no information about Mew either. The only way back in the original 151 days was Mewtwo was caught in game. Mew was released as a promo for certain events.
Yeah, and if you're playing if you're playing for the game, it just has like a stupid little kid playing for the game. You're not gonna pick up on a lot of the stuff. You're not gonna pick up the stuff with Mr. Fuji in Lavender Town about him being a former lab scientist on Snowball Island, about doing crazy experiments. You're not gonna go through and read the journals, or even if you do, you're probably not gonna understand the fact of, oh no, they found a Mew fossil and Mewtwo is a clone of Mew. You're not gonna understand that.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I feel like a real weirdo because that's the fuck I did as a kid when I played the Pokemon games originally.
Mm-hmm.
I did too. Shit. I did too, but I'm just thinking of like your normal everyday snot-nosed brat that just gets a game because they're screaming It's like they haven't reached that analytical thinking point. It's like, I feel well too because I was in. It wasn't so much in the first gen games, but it was in the second gen games. I loved the mystery portions of what they introduced, like the unknown ruins. I loved the fucking mystery portions of the whole fucking game. Yeah. It was like, that was in the games? It's like, yes, that was in the games. You had to go through and play the game, and back in the Gen 1 days, they didn't tie everything together in a nice little bowl like they do in the games today.
Basically, if you did the grind, if you did a lot of grinding, you went everywhere within the Gen 1 games.
I mean, if you genuinely wanted to actually catch all 150 Pokemon, you not only had a friend who had the opposite copy of you, but you and your friend spent hours just running around.
Yeah. Yes, the Reggie puzzles, because they were Braille. That was a fun one too. I love those mystery aspects. But within the Gen 1 game, the only mystery aspect you had was this one lab on Snowball Island. And it wasn't even the main focus. And that was one of the disappointing things too within the whole aspects of Gen 1. Because they had this nice little setup of, you had Team Rocket.
Yeah.
But it was never connected in the games that Team Rocket was the one behind the Snowball Island research. They never made that connection within the Gen 1 games. That was a separate thing.
It was kind of funny when it was playing, again, an older version of Rogue playing the game where everybody else was much younger for the most part. Keep in mind that I was not only a collector of the actual card games, I was also a seller of the boxes and shit like that. So I was all over the place with it, and I was kind of getting more into the gaming aspect because of the factor that the story behind it was very, especially the
Unique.
American cut. Well, the American version was all over the place and had a lot of questionables. So when I got more involved in the Japanese end of it, it became more of an interest, more unique, because you had to go out and find these. These were Easter eggs that existed without anybody telling you that they existed.
Yeah. Now, if you really want a good reference of what I'm talking about, Pokemon Origins does a really good job of telling the story that the games were trying to tell. And it goes through the steps of, going through and talking to Mr. Fuji in Lavender Town, going behind his backstory. Even whenever, they go a little bit deeper because they go into the Megastone aspect, which wasn't around in the actual Gen 1 days. But, there is a lot of aspects with that game that you had to put two and two together, and they was not clear cut. It's like, Mr. Fuji will tell you, he was the lead developer in a lab, and they were doing all sorts of cool experiments. Well, not cool experiments, but unethical
they were
experiments.
doing some really unique, well, we're going to say unique experiments that have put a lot of Pokemon into the ground.
Yeah, and that's the reason why he spends his time at Lavender Town to repent and remorse about the Pokemon that, got sacrificed in those experiments, because he felt guilty about it.
I was always intrigued with Lavender Town, because every time I went there, not only did you have a huge change in the music, but even the tones were different, and everybody in that town was very subtle about certain pieces of information that they were giving you as the player. And some of them it did kind of link you towards someone who was overseeing an entire operation. But again, you would have to take your time to go and talk to everybody there, sometimes a few times, to see if there was any changes in their dialogue.
Yeah. Now, the only connection between Mewtwo and Team Rocket within the Gen 1 games was Mr. Fuji. But it never told you that within the games. They kidnapped Mr. Fuji, not because of the stuff with Mewtwo, but because of stuff of like the Slurp Scope and the Pokeflu and stuff like that. So, that's kind of really of a big missed opportunity they had within the Gen 1 games that they tied in on the anime. Yeah, but that's it. And like I said, you had to go through in the mission on Sunnable Island, and I can't remember how many journal entries there were. There was several.
There was quite a few.
Yeah, and it pretty much explains the fact of, them going through the processes of, developing Mewtwo from the Mew fossil that they found. And it ties back over because there's that technology from the abandoned mission that they take and they use in the new research lab. That's where you can get the fossil Pokemon restored. It's because of that same technology.
Yeah, it's got a lot of small little details that most people have overlooked or have been scrubbed out technically because of Western scriptwriters redoing things.
There's one aspect in a Pokemon game. I believe it's Diamond and Pearl games. The old Ghetto.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you talk about a creepy ass fucking story in a game. And this is something that will follow around in the game, and unbeknownst to the player, weird things will happen. And there's a strange girl that you'll meet. And it's not tied to anyone in the game. It's not part of the main storyline. There's nothing really ambiguous to kind of point you as like, yeah, you gotta do this, and this. There's just random happenstances that happen in the game. And come to find out, it is the ghost of a girl that got killed a long time ago. And it's creepy as fuck at times. And it does a good job at portraying that.
Yeah.
Yes,
that is.
Yeah, the ghost girl on the bridge.
Yeah, because you have what was it, Pokemon?
Because you meet her, you meet her in a department store, I believe, or a studio in one of the first cities you go to, and she moves along, but she doesn't walk. It's like she just floats along.
You meet up with her in Limousine City.
Yeah. And then you meet up with her several times, and the final place where you'll find her is in the old ghetto. But here's the thing, you can't complete that mission until you meet up with her in all the required places within the game, and you have a specific Pokemon with you, and you go into there, and then you can finally release her soul or her spirit that's trapped within that mansion. And I think you get a Litwick because of it.
It's also very questionable on how she is kind of trapped there. Was it because of one of the multiple different Pokemons that do that as a normal everyday hobby? Because if you ever read the actual Pokedex and the entrance that they have with them,
God. Some of those Pokedex entries will give you... They will literally make your skin crawl.
Oh, jeez.
Like the Hisui region's Typhlosion.
Yes.
Because it's cool, because Hisui region's Typhlosion in Arceus is a fire ghost type.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really unique on how they write his entry. His entry is... He uses the souls of 108 spirits to fuel his flames to purify evil entities. And it's real interesting that they use that 108 spirits, because within the Diamond and Pearl games, it's the first place where you encounter Spiritomb. And Spiritomb is a Pokemon comprised of 108 souls.
Actually, my personal favorite is Lampton or Lampton. Yeah, the Pokemon looks like a fucking lantern.
Yeah, that's the evolved form of Litwick, right?
Yeah, it hangs around hospitals to wait for people to die. Think about that.
The Sandcastle one.
Yeah,
the Sandcastle one.
Yeah. That is weird. Oh, fuck me. Yeah, there are so many weird entrances that they put in for these Pokemon. Oh, fuck. What is it? Unimask carries his own face around when he was a human.
Oh yeah, no. You know what's even better? And I do mean this in all seriousness. Is the Japanese translated ones?
Yeah.
Tell
Those
us.
Are priceless.
Tell us.
I don't remember off the top. I don't remember off the top of my fucking head, dude.
Somebody
I can tell you this. I can tell you this though. I do know that one or two of them is just outright disturbing.
Well, I know Jafloon usually just takes small children away and just executes them.
Yeah, he eats them off the planet. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, okay. But it goes. I mean, this giant, Pokemon that looks like a balloon just has its passion in killing children. Seems not.
Look, let me look. Actually, look up one. Let me look up the Japanese.
Oh, we've got a Gemex who's finally done his yard work.
What is that?
We have a Gemex who's finally done his yard work. Who's come in?
Yes, it's finished. It's been finished for a while, actually.
Oh.
I've been sitting here listening to you guys for a while.
Okay.
And he wanted to join in the chaos.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I have no idea what's going on. I'm exhausted.
We're just talking about Pokemon entrance.
Well, you see, and that's the thing too. There's a
Yeah.
and that's a cool one there, Gil. Because there's actually one in Arceus that you gotta collect 108 wisps to unlock Spiritomb. They just don't give you Spiritomb. You gotta go through all the different areas, find all the different wisps, and when you find 108 of them, or 107, I think, yeah, it's 108. And then you go to the old Keystone, you'll find Spiritomb. But no, let me look up creepy.
Oh, here we go. What does this one say?
Creepy Pokedex entries.
Copy. Paste. Enter.
Alright, so here's this one. The scariest and creepiest entries in the Pokedex. Alright, so 1. Gengar, Pokemon Sun and Moon. Should you feel yourself attacked by a sudden chill, it is evident of an approaching Gengar. There is no escaping it. Give up.
Yeah.
Gyarados. Gyarados, Pokemon Emerald. It is an extremely vicious and violent Pokemon. When humans begin to fight. No, when humans begin to fight, it will appear and burn everything to the ground with its intense hot flames.
Come on.
Houndoom.
That.
Yeah, it's a water type. It's a water flying type.
Yeah, just think about that. You having an argument with your neighbor, you're getting hot-headed, and all of a sudden this magical bird shows up and burns everything down to the ground.
Yeah, and Gyarados is let me just go ahead and share my screen here. All right, so Gengar, Gyarados, Houndoom. If you are burned by the flames that shoots from its mouth, the pain will never go away.
Yeah.
Tarantor, black and white. If it rampages, it knocks down mountains and buries rivers. Maps must be redrawn afterwards. Carnivore, Pokemon Ruby. Carnivore's strongly developed jaws and its sharply pointed fangs pack the destructive power to rip out bolt holes. Many bolts have been attacked and sunk by this Pokemon.
Yeah. Anyways, before you continue, what you hung over there, Dragon?
That's one. I believe that's one of the ghost types. I remember. It is actually the soul of children trapped inside. I think it's a tree.
I don't think. I think I've got this one. It's this one. Bayonet, Pokemon Ultra Sun. It's a stuffed toy that was thrown away and became possessed, ever searching for the one who threw it away so it can exact its revenge.
Yeah, that's not a vindictive Pokemon whatsoever.
Yeah. Gorbis, Pokemon Ultra Moon. It sucks bodily fluids out of its prey. The leftover meat sinks to the sea floor, where it becomes food for other Pokemon. And Gorbis is a cute-looking Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean...
Drifloon, Pokemon Sun. Stories go that it grabs the hands of small children and drags them away to the afterlife. It dislikes heavy children.
Yes. No shit, it has a hard time picking those bad boys up. I mean...
Yeah. Frostlass, Pokemon Sun. When it finds humans or Pokemon it dislikes, it freezes them and takes them to its chilly den, where then it becomes decoration. Girder. With strengthened bodies, they skillfully roll steel beams to take down buildings.
Have they done Pokemon... What? Have they done Pokemon Warring yet? I meant along humans.
I don't see it.
Have
they?
Yeah, no.
Yes, no. Time. There has been several wars within the Pokemon realm. I believe Black and White has a war within it. Pokemon. A war back in the old days. Pokemon: The Mystery of Mew.
Well,
Lucario and the Mystery of Mew.
There was the Kanto Wars, which also kind of took place during the same. Would have been.
Well, that's where Lieutenant Surge. Yeah, Lieutenant Surge was a
and then you
a soldier.
Have the Great Pokemon War. That was the Kanto War. So yeah, they have had. There's been
wars. Several.
I know, but they presented that early into the world of Pokemon in Red and Blue because of Surge. So they already told you in the beginning and base Pokemon, before anybody realized it as a kid, that this actually exists. Wars happen with Pokemon. There's been like multiple different wars.
Yeah, I probably didn't. You probably didn't realize that one, too, Gil.
Yeah, because if you meet up with Lieutenant Surge, because you kind of go, why is he a sergeant? He's a gym leader in Vermilion City, and he's a soldier of war. I love it.
All right, well, let's look this up. Lieutenant Surge, fandom, Pokemon fandom. Hey kids, what do you think you're doing here? You won't live long in combat. That's for sure. I'll tell you, kid. Electric Pokemon saved me during the war. They zapped my enemies into paralysis. They'll say the same as I'll do to you, Lieutenant Surge. And that's a quote from Pokemon Red.
Yep. I
Yeah.
remember, like I said, older Rogue at the time for him. He was in his 20s or going into his 20s. He's playing this fucking game. And, and I was like going, wait.
Yeah, so Lieutenant Surge, here's a summary. Lieutenant Surge, the Lightning American, is a leader of the Vermilion Gym and mainly uses electric-type Pokemon. He is the third gym leader in Red and Blue encounters.
And yellow.
Yeah, and Red and Blue encounter.
No, I know.
They're not talking about the game. They're talking about Red and Blue. Gary and Ash, or whichever one they want to go by.
Correct.
Encountering the adventures through Kanto. Characterized by his bold and brash composure, Lieutenant Surge is a war vet who served in the mysterious Kanto War of some years ago. Surge is also one of the first gym leaders of Kanto that Ethan encountered when he first arrived in the land from Johto. Though he was defeated, Surge proved himself to be a force to be reckoned with, eventually along with other gym leaders in Kanto. Surge has rematched against Ethan and fought on equal grounds with him since. Years after the events of Pokemon Gold, Silver, and Crystal, Surge will partake in the World Tournament he held in Unova, in which he's considered a rather highly ranked trainer.
Yeah, so Surge did first appear in Red and Blue, plus the Green that we actually didn't get to see until much later. Then the relaunch of Green and Yellow, he was there, and then Gold, Silver, and Crystal, he was also there. But he talks about that whole his escapades in the war kind of spur out, so you know that there was a war that happened. There was a great war, and even for a lot of the movies, they also allude to there was a Pokemon War.
Yeah. Well, and there was a Pokemon War in present time and back in old times, because that was the setting for X and Y. And that was one of the main characters you came across with. He was an immortal that fought within a Pokemon War, and it was a bloody, gruesome war. And one of the Pokemon he held, Dilly, which I can't remember what it was. But he ended up making a machine that wiped out all the other forces, all the Pokemon on both sides, killed them all, and took their lives and revived this Pokemon. But because of that experiment, both this Pokemon and him have immortality now.
Yeah.
And that is a legitimate thing within the game, the shows, and the continuity of everything itself.
Well, here's the other thing. I know it's also a legitimate thing that Pokemon used to be humans.
I've never heard that one.
Because of the amount of Pokemon that we have that used to be human at one time or holds the fates of the human, the counter-human, like for example, the one I mentioned where he's carrying the face of what he used to be as a human. Mm-hmm. It does allude that in this world, the humans actually turn into Pokemon, where you have certain Pokemon who are taking children to become whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So
Bill wanted to become a Pokemon.
That the two of them kind of exist. They're kind of like it's almost like a reincarnation kind of story, where you reincarnated into a pet.
Yeah. Bill is kind of weird because the interpretations of Bill was kind of distorted depending on what continuity you went to. His transfer machine that he made accidentally swapped him with a Pokemon. If you go in the game perspective, if you go in the anime's perspective, he was trying to get attuned and akin to Pokemon, so he wore costumes and outfits. So it depends on what continuity you want to go from. Yeah. But let me continue with these Pokedex entries. Thundurus.
Okay, fine.
What?
No, I'm just kidding.
All right. Thundurus, Pokemon Black. Countless charred remains mar the landscape of places through which Thundurus has passed. And guess what? He's one of those wild Pokemon that just pop up all over the fucking area on the map you gotta chase after to go, find. So just remember that when you're chasing him.
He's pretty much fuck you Pokemon. And here I am. Now go fuck yourself. I'm gone. Peace.
Yeah. Honedge. If anyone dares to grab its hilt, it wraps a blue cloth around that person's arm and drains that person's life energy. I can't pronounce that name. Save my fucking life. But Gorgorist, Pokemon Y, it enwraps its prey in a hair-like arm. It sings joyfully as it observes the suffering of its prey.
Yeah.
Beware. Beware, which is pretty much, pedo bear.
Yeah, pretty much.
This Pokemon has a habit of hugging its companions. Many trainers have left this world after the spines were squashed by its hugs.
Mm-hmm.
Palosan is the one that gets me the most. Palosan is an evolution from Pokemon Moon. Buried beneath the castle are masses of dried up bones from those whose vitality it has drained. It's a sandcastle. Make that connection.
It is. Well, think of this. You have Spirit Bomb, who's comprised of 108 people, souls of 108 people. You have Pokemon that are going out there to maim as many people as possible. So yeah, there is a weird reincarnation demanded here.
Yeah. All right. So in the last one that I think this described as creepiest one for this one is about Mimikyu, Pokemon Ultra Moon. A gust of wind reveals what is hidden underneath this Pokemon's rags to a passing trainer who went home and died painfully that very night.
Yep. Actually, it's kind of funny because they had that gimmick for with one of the episodes for Pokemon where Mewth actually got to see the actual true physical form of this thing and died and was brought back to life later. But in the American version, he just passed out. He fainted.
Yeah, and that's another thing with region specific dubs and translations that they'll do that. Yeah, they could be. They try to avoid it as much as they can, but there's some instances that they can't, like in Mew, Lucario, The Mysteries of Mew. They couldn't avoid that. Pokemon Heroes, they couldn't avoid it. Pokemon the first movie, they tried to avoid it and fucked the movie up to begin with. Then they fixed it. Mm-hmm. Because if you remember, all right, Gil, let me ask you this: do you know about Amber and the first Pokemon movie? And it's just a simple yes or no. If Gil is even still watching.
Yeah, probably. You'd have to wait in order to find out.
But
so as we wait, it was Yamask is the one that has the human face.
Yamask, yes.
Yeah. Where did he get the human face from? Oh, it's because he was human at one time. So
okay. Gil says no off the top of my head. Which, if you've only watched the Pokemon the first movie once, and that was probably the theatrical release, it was not in there. They removed this portion out of the movie when it first aired. Why, I don't know, because they thought it was unethical or something like that. But later on, they added it in. So,
wait, what they add in?
I'm getting ready to explain it.
Yeah, it was a character that was removed and was brought in back later.
Yeah, and it makes so much sense to why Mewtwo is the way he is because of this 15-minute scene that they deleted. But no, whenever you go in and you watch the movie, and at the beginning of it, you see them develop Mewtwo and stuff like that. And before, they're going through all the sciencey stuff and all that good stuff. And then it cuts away from that and goes into it and you see Mewtwo and the chamber, and that's where it awakens. Well, between the point where they're doing the research and the development and that point, they cut 15 minutes out. And the 15 minutes they cut out is basically showing Mewtwo as a young Pokemon. He was a young, smaller version of Mewtwo, immature. There were 4 other clone subjects by him. There was a clone Squirtle, a clone Bulbasaur, a clone Charmander, and a cloned little girl, which was Dr. Fuji's deceased daughter, that he was using the research from Team Rocket so he could clone her back to life. And it was a story arc between these three because they all shared like a mental pathway because of Mewtwo.
Well, okay. Before you continue, yeah, I was always confused without that arc of how he had the other clone Pokemon. It was like going, why is there a connection with these particular people who are battling for these creatures that are battling for him? I don't get it.
Yeah.
They tried to explain it away that he was in control of them, but they were doing it willy-nilly without any, direction.
Yeah. Now, yeah, he had no degree of control over them. Now, as it continues on, Mewtwo, Amber, and the three other sorted Pokemon got a letter and they were talking. He was learning about stuff. Well, in the course of that, the other three clone Pokemon start passing out one by one. They start disappearing. And it's showcased back in the lab, they're losing them. And they die. And then the same thing happens to Amber. And then Amber dies. That leaves Mewtwo in distraught state. And that's what leads to his rage and anger. Especially after finding out what he was being made for.
Yeah. As well as it is a complex ethical story to tell about somebody's thought process or grieving stages of life and death. Will they be the next one to die? That is very traumatical for anybody going forward. Just for that alone. I mean, for and this is another thing that I really hate it when Westerners try to bring certain animations to a child market. Just because it's an anime, just because it looks cutesy, doesn't necessarily mean it's actually meant for 3 to 8-year-olds or 3 to 10-year-olds. It's actually meant for an older audience, preteen audience. So realistically, you're watching Pokemon, you're watching something that was designed for preteens to early teens.
Yeah. Why they removed that part out, I can see why, but it greatly it changes the story if you know that context.
Yeah,
lot.
But if you understand the reason of why they took it out, it again, they were marketing to the wrong group. They took out that philosophical theme out because they believe it was too complex for younger children, which that is true. But these shows weren't designed for younger children. The little adventures that the Pokemon were going with, without any humans around, those were kind of meant for children. There's no real dialogue. There's just, you see this happening, you can piece together the story by yourself without a dialogue. You can figure it out. Who's the bad guy, who's the good guy, what they're doing, what kind of trouble and shenanigans they're trying to get each other out of. But when you introduce the humans, you have to remember, this all starts off with a young boy at the age of 10 going on a magical adventure of trying to become a Pokemon trainer, hunter, whatever you want to call him. And a lot of the people that he's meeting up with are above the age of 10, some cases in their 20s, 30s, and so on and so forth. And you kind of go, wait, how is this a show meant for children? Like young children. So, it's same thing that happened with Sailor Moon.
All right. I put a link down that has somebody actually showcases and describes what we're talking about. But there you go. There's a link to something that's a lot better. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff within the movies that's in the show itself that they really cut out. And here's a clever little tie back they do to this. And it has to do with the new. Well, it's not new. It's a couple years old now, but the Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee remakes.
Yeah, I have that.
Yeah. Now, if you know anything about the history of the games in the show, in the manga, because there's a manga, there is a particular trainer named Green. Now, you can play as Green, and I believe Leaf Green and Fire Red. You can play as a female. You can play as a female character. I believe. Well, I take that back. It may not be Green. It may be one of the other female characters within the Kanto region they can play as. But Green is very unique. And there's a very unique scene within the Pokemon games after you catch Mewtwo. Because that's when you first run into this girl. And it's actually real cool because they took this concept and they actually made it into a short OVA in Pokemon Evolutions. And it's really cool. But whenever you catch Mewtwo, you run into this girl named Green. And she starts chunking Pokeballs at you. And you don't know why. And all of a sudden, she gets pissed off because you caught Mewtwo. She wanted to catch Mewtwo. And then afterwards, after you beat her, it's just like, well, you are a strong trainer. Why don't you and Mewtwo become my Pokemon? Kind of like she doesn't have much sense or common sense about the world. Almost like she's almost been born with, limited knowledge. Except for some certain aspects. And it's actually really cool and realized because she does look a lot like her. That's actually Amber. The cloned version of Amber. And the reason why she wants to go out to Mewtwo and catch him is because of the time that they were together in the cloning experiments. Because she actually ended up surviving. Yeah. So, that's a cool little tie back they do within Let's Go Pichu and Let's Go Eevee.
Well, keep in mind that you do end up with that particular character who has no father because it's unnamed, but you with a mother. You start off in the Kanto region as usual. Same basic story you would with Ash, but the counter is red. So I always found it very interesting for red and green or red and blue. They've always had this weird little kind of non-named dichotomy until you put them into either a manga or in anime. Then you start giving these people names. Like, for example, Ash's name means no more better than a samurai. And a samurai is no more better than an adventurer or a person who's very stoic or whatever. So a samurai, that basically his name, samurai. I understand why they made him Ash Ketchum. Catch 'em all.
Mm-hmm.
Gimmick name. Makes sense.
Yeah, it is a gimmick name. But the cool thing is like within the manga and stuff like that, this character Green, she's very mysterious. You don't know a lot about her. Her backstory is very obscure, and her similarities to how she looks like to Amber in the first movie is very compelling. Now it's not established. This is kind of a fan theory lore, but I mean it's pretty much on the nose. And this is my answer to a lot of people that comes into basically the Pokemon game. Is like, well, why are you playing kids game? Why are you playing kids game? It's like, if you read some of the Pokedex entries and know some of the fucking history and lore behind this game, you understand that this is more than merely a fucking kids game, and that's one of the reasons why I like playing it, because it's got a lot of unique story aspects and story points that I like playing.
I get it. I've already explained it to you. It's not designed for children under a certain age.
Well, that's the question I get asked.
Yeah. No, I get it. No, I get it, and unfortunately, most people don't really because again, these are usually Westerners that have. Because again, if you take it to an Asian, they'll be like, it doesn't matter, everybody plays Pokemon. But if you take it to a Westerner, they're always going to go, well, this is meant for kids because my young watch. Yeah, so it's one of those things. It's trying to explain to them that the show, if you actually sit down and watch it, with the amount of adult themes that it comes with, and the philosophies that they're trying to impose. They're so complex for a small young mind, so it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit for anybody under the age of 6, under the age of 9.
Yeah,
doesn't compute. All they see is a colorful character, and they're going out catching bugs or catching a critter. That's basically bug catching, but it's more complex.
Mm-hmm. All right, and with that, my timer has hit the max out button. I've got to go and get ready for recording. It has been fun. Gil, if you're not a part of the Discord, I suggest you join into the Discord. I'll be more than glad to talk more about the games with you, about a lot of lore aspects. I get the feeling that we talked a lot about the lore of games that you play you didn't realize. And if you want more of that, stick around or jump in. Actually, Tyro's watching. Probably Atheist is watching right now.
Oh God!
Atheist.
Don't. All I can say is go towards the Atheist. Do not go towards Tyro unless you want to be there for hours.
What I'm saying is this Atheist is very knowledgeable on some of the backstories and on not the older generations of games, but like on Black and White. She's very knowledgeable on that one. So go ask her about some of the stuff that happens within the Unova region and all that good stuff. But yeah, the game's packed full of fucking lore and mysteries and puzzles to solve.
Oh yeah.
No, not kids, Fiend.
No. As well as on my side of the fence, and you might be new or whoever's coming over here new, whatever, might be seeing this. I am Rogue. That is Dragoners over there. We're from the GNF side of the family. We have a Discord that is what is it? Total Drama. It's just a Discord. And
Depends
we
on who
cover
gets
a lot
hacked.
of different things, and we have a lot of different conversations. For the most part, we're all knowledgeable about different fields. And if you want to have more fun or just the same amount of fun as you would at Sparky's corner as well as our corner, please come over and say hi. I take all everybody.
Yeah,
I'm not shy.
Yeah, there's links to his Discord and mine. I don't think it. Actually, no. I never did fix the I never did add a GNF one for the channel. Yeah, if you join into my Discord and you get in, there'll be links to Total Drama and my channels. So
you know what? I could always add
Drop a
link if the thingy will ever let me do one. I want to send a link. How do I send?
Actually, no. Time out. Go check out GNF at.
Actually,
here, It's there.
Okay. So if you want to go over to our Twitch channel, GNF TV, you'll get some of the information there. Also, you can send me all different kind of harassments in a DM. I will eventually read them, and I will do what I need to do. It's fun in games. Wesley usually shows up to harass me. I love people that challenge my thought processes, even though how much I have a disdain for Tyro every now and then.
Yeah.
You have disdain for Tyro, I see.
I understand dismay and disdain.
Yes.
Alright. But anyways, it's been a fun chat. Wish we did this more, but alas,
you go
the
off,
time
do
has
what
come.
you think. Good night, good day, whatever it's you're having. I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Alright.
I'm maggots. I'm training you. I'm terrifying and a